Let's hope it all works out. You are live. Yay!
So exciting.
We're here.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized I'm looking at the private chat. That's not going to do any good.
I got a notification.
Oh, no,
Oh my god! Ew! I just heard myself say, we're here!
I always have it like on this side. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute it.
It's the cringiness for me.
It's always the worst when you don't expect it and you can hear yourself.
Yeah, like, no thanks. All right, I'm going to wait for a couple people to get in here. As usual, I don't like talking into the abyss. So, while we're here, everybody, how you doing? How's everybody living right now?
Great.
I'm more awake
Great.
now.
Oh,
I was
cool.
literally like falling asleep earlier, so bad.
It's like 1 a.m. for Francis. He's like, I'm doing great.
We're close to 2 now, but we move.
Are you in like a night owl too, or is this a struggle for you?
Usually I am, but we're not on a lot of sleep. It's been a day and a half, but we're coming out. We're showing up, so it's fine. Nowhere I'd rather be.
That's so sweet. How you doing, Caesar? It's your first stream with us.
Yeah, I saw the last one. It looked like a lot of fun. So all my work buddies that I'm going out with later, they're still working. So I got about 2 hours before I can, 2 hours to hang out before I gotta go.
Awesome. Do you understand the assignment for today?
I think so. What got you into horror, right?
Yes, I was just making a dumb joke. Like, do you understand the assignment? Andy, how you doing? You feeling good? Talk to me.
I'm doing fucking great now.
We can fucking hear you. It's great.
Hoping that everyone can hear my stupid voice. I'm so excited. I was legit worried that I'd be the only one on this stream. I thought everyone was going to like be, hey, sorry, gang, we're all so sleepy. And I'm like, really? Am I the only awake one here?
I got my coffee. I'm good to go.
I'm awake. I'm drinking wine. I'm good. I see some people here. Hi, Dale. How are you? Shaheem, how you doing, boo?
Hi, Shaheem.
What's up? How are you living?
Well, there we go.
Oh my god, I almost called you Carmine. I know that's Mike. Mike! What's up? How you doing? I wish I could just like talk to everybody in the chat, like just have them all here and talk. It's always like weird when I have to read and then respond.
Who was the guy who wanted me to read the Game of Thrones quote last time?
Oh, that's John.
John. I want him back. I feel like he appreciated me. So John, pull through tonight, please.
Remember the other Francis also?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chainsaw Francis. Francis was terrified that I was coming to get him.
Yeah, it felt like a threat. I thought we were gonna get chainsawed, but
yeah, that was interesting. At first, I thought it was you, and I was like, "Are you on 2 accounts?" Like, I never seen that person before until then. I don't know how much of a delay I have.
Oh wow! I just saw you. Now I see comments. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize it was on here. All right. Whatever. I'm slow.
Okay, so for everyone watching, welcome back to another On the Scare with Sweet and Spooky and my co-host Melissa right here, the queen. Today we are joined by my lovely patrons, Francis, Caesar, and Andy. And today is going to be a very relaxed, from me, slightly tipsy stream. What do you expect at this point? Today, we're going to be talking about what got us into horror. So I would love for you guys in the chat to also tell me what got you into horror. Oh.
Why is my question.
Francis is like, burn that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Burn it with fire.
You're watching that while watching this?
That's like a
kinda
lot.
chaotic.
That's pretty chaotic. You have to deal with like Busta and Michael together, and then also me screaming here. I don't know, Shaheem. You doing okay?
I don't know. I mean, based on the reviews, that seems like a good background movie, I guess, right?
You know what? You make a valid point.
Yep.
It's a great background movie. That's kind of like me with the Prom Night remake. That's a background movie for me. Just need something on. Yes, you know, Mike, all the time. Oh, that's not for me. Sorry. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think that I'm gonna start with you guys, and I'm gonna save mine for last. So I'll just go in order here, or actually, you know what? I'll save Melissa and I for last. So I'll start with Francis.
Oh no, this is such pressure.
It's not.
And I don't really have a story, to be honest with you.
Francis, you didn't understand the assignment? I told
Well-
you, if you don't have a story, make one up. Come on, impress me.
We had like 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Yeah,
This was a no
two
pressure
weeks.
episode too.
Are you kidding me,
No pressure.
Francis? You failed the course. It's done.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor Francis.
I'm just kidding.
This is me out. But no, I mean, shall I get into it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think all of us are gonna have some crazy story. So not expecting you to have some like
I'm excited for Andy's though, because I know Andy.
Yeah, I have a 1 hour long speech prepared. I hope you're ready.
Andy is gonna have it down.
But yeah. Yeah, so for me, like, I don't know how it happened almost, because I just remember as a kid, I hated horror. Like, I was terrified by it. Yeah, I was going nowhere near it. I remember, like, when I was quite young, I think Paranormal Activity just come out, and a group of my friends were watching it. I refused. I just sat in the other room the entire time. I was not going anywhere near it. And I don't know how it sort of happened. I went from that to now, like, being a complete nerd for horror. Do you know what I mean? So I think probably Scream and Saw did a lot. Those series did a lot for me in sort of getting me into them. That's why I bang on about Saw all the time, to probably your collective frustration. But it yeah, I don't know. It was just a franchise that meant a lot, and sort of just got me into the genre, along with Scream, which I don't need to talk about Scream because everything that's been said about Scream has already been said. You know what I mean? We all know it's sort of like among the greats of the genre. I think uncontroversially say so.
Yeah,
But
it's iconic.
things like that. Yeah, exactly. And those two franchises specifically, I think, for me especially, got me into it. And then I think the past sort of 4 years or so, I've sort of really been into it passionately, rather than just sort of getting into the genre and enjoying it. Like, past 4 years have really been like, I have really nerded out over it. And I think like YouTube has been a big part in that, sort of people like discourse online. Because I think horror's not really in fashion so much at the minute. At least among the people I grew up with, horror wasn't so much like the fashionable genre. So I think when you have this community online of people who are passionate about the genre, it sort of helped. Apologies.
Hey!
Yeah. But,
We forget Francis is surrounded by soccer hooligans.
yeah, very true. So yeah, apologies. But no, yeah. So sort of my story is that I don't really have a story. I just, as a kid, absolutely hated it, and somehow became what I thought I would never be, and like yeah, it just sort of happened without me even realizing. Yeah, so apologies for that kind of boring story, but
No, not boring.
yeah,
Not everyone's gonna have like a
that's me.
crazy story.
Not everyone's gonna have an Andy story.
No, not everyone can have Andy stories. Andy's so Andy. We can't take it away from him. No, but I love that. That's very interesting that you kind of went from like avoiding horror movies to now being like really into them. Like now you're like a patron of a horror tuber. Like you're really in this.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like I just wasn't particularly a fan. It was like I actively avoided them. Like I was
Wow.
terrified of it. I was absolutely terrified. Didn't even if it was on, like I say, with friends, I would refuse outright. So it went from one extreme to the other somehow. But yeah.
When did that happen for you? Like that shift? Because I remember as a kid, I was terrified of it when I first saw it, and obviously like The Exorcist. And I think for me it was around middle school, high school. But I'm curious to know when yours was. When did you decide to kind of face your fears and be like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good"?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't even know if I have the answer. It was definitely sort of mid-teenage years. Like I would say, probably 14 was when I started getting into it. Maybe 13. Actually, do you know what? I think I would credit, and we'll talk early seasons, so we don't get depressed about it. But The Walking Dead, I think I credit a lot with the sort of. I think I started watching it when the 4th series was on, and then the Walking Dead game that they did as well.
Oh,
Those
the game,
two,
so good.
yeah, those two combined. Because I think this must have been around the 2nd season of the game was coming out, so it must have been 2013, 2014, which makes sense. I think that was about the 4th season of the show. I think that was like, because that's more of a drama than a horror straight, but it's sort of horror themed almost, So I think that period of my life would have been when I started getting into horror, sort of, not necessarily really passionately, but getting into it more, like sort of opening me up to the genre. And then 2-3 years later, sort of, then it became something I was really passionate about and like my favorite genre and stuff. So probably around 13, maybe 12 even, actually. I forget, but something about that. And then sort
This
of
is
14.
interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm super flummy. I keep doing that. That's really gross. Allergies, man. I have a similar story, kind of. Mine is a little more intense, but I can relate to a lot of what you're saying, Francis. We'll get back to me in a second. Before I go on to Caesar, I'm gonna catch up on the chat really quick because I'm the slowest reader in the world. Oh.
That's awesome.
That is so funny. Did you keep watching it because of Jennifer Tilly? Because I know I did. Have any of you guys seen Cursed? With Christina Ricci, right? I have not seen that yet. It's like one of those things that's been on my list forever and I haven't gotten to. Have any of you guys seen that? No. No thoughts, just vibes. Yeah, it was because of Jennifer Tilly.
Rise was your first horror film. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a great first horror film. Any thoughts on Halloween Kills? I very much enjoyed Halloween Kills. I don't know if everybody here has seen it. I know Melissa's seen it. I know she loved it. Did you guys see it?
I have not.
I have, yeah.
I have as well. Yep.
Just
You know I haven't.
chat. Anticipate that Andy hasn't seen anything in the last 10 years.
It's very, very old.
The time I see a
Catching
movie
up,
within the
he's
last
catching up.
decade is with these clowns. So yeah.
You know what? He did watch his first horror film from 2021, and it was Censor. And it was solely because I had to put together a movie night for us to watch.
It's because you flipped a coin, sort of, and that's where we landed.
The coin flip.
Yes. Love that
That
for
was good.
you. We're catching you up, you know?
1 month at a time.
Thriller.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Thriller music video was... I remember being scared
Oh
of
my
that
God,
as a
yeah.
kid, too. Also, like, Vincent Price, like, his voiceover bit was always, like, scary. I mean...
That's a really interesting thing to bring up, though, because I bet so many people, like, for me, for sure, but I bet a lot of people, their first introduction to something kind of, like, horror-related or really spooky was probably that video. And it was scary as hell when you're a little kid watching it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I remember being like, I hate this. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, definitely, like, Vincent Price's voice was a terrifying thing for me. And now, as an adult, Vincent Price is somebody I thirst over and so obsessed with his career and so obsessed with him as a human. Like, I literally have his cookbook. I'm like, I'm going to be Vincent Price. That's what's going to happen now.
When you bring out the
See that?
cookbook,
Sure.
that's dedication.
Yeah, I know. The cookbook is so beautiful, too. It's like this old vintage book that's, like, out of print now. Love it. Had to get it. Oh shit, the other Francis is here.
We have
Hi!
someone knowing.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Francis has entered the chat.
We didn't even have to say a day Dewey Dambala to have him come through. Hello, other Francis. How are you doing? Oh yeah, I think Jennifer Tilly's like a lot of people's girlfriend, so she just doesn't know it. She is. She really is. Oh, I see somebody new here. Hello, Kayla. How are you today? Halloween H2O. Oh, I love that.
Free?
I love that so much, but also like 3 years old is wow.
That is
It's
rough.
crazy that it's crazy you remember that. Like I can't remember shit from when I was like that age. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But also like I have trauma brain, so like a lot of it is blocked out. But that's great. I love that. I mean, the Halloween franchise is my favorite, and Laurie Strode's my favorite final girl, so I love that for you. Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing. She's like one of those people that for me is like so important in my life.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis is a great introduction to horror. God.
Oh,
yes,
For sure.
I have been watching the Chucky show actively. I just caught up the other day. Obsessed. The last episode, I almost died. You guys know the vibes. You guys know I love Fiona Dorff.
Couldn't I called it.
I was really curious about that.
Right after when I saw it, I'm like, girl. Just wait to see episode 5. I already know.
It was a lot to take in, really.
Wait, how many episodes are there right now?
6.
6, yeah.
Okay, so I haven't seen a single one. I'm actually a really big fan of like the original Chucky film. So am I missing out, or is it like a complete 180? Because the Chucky movie that came out, I thought was pretty terrible. I know a lot of people liked it, but I just didn't.
Oh, which film? The Child's Play remake?
I think so. It's where he's like an animatronic, and so there's no like, there's no supernatural element to it.
Yeah.
I forgot which year it came out.
Was that the
It was
remake?
2019.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019,
Yeah. Oh God.
Instead
It
of a
was,
good guy, he was a buddy
Aubrey
doll.
Plaza.
Yeah, it was just I didn't like it.
Ooh,
No, I
That
didn't
was
like
rough.
it either. I mean, to be fair on their part, I feel like if they would have done it just like their own movie and picked like their own doll and didn't use the Chucky name at all, could have been like
Yeah.
interesting. But it's the fact that they used like the name Chucky, and it's like no.
So one of my fears is that that's what they're doing with the show, but is
Oh
it?
no.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, they bring back a lot of the OGs. It's kind of like, it's really good.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because Don Mancini actually didn't have anything to do with that remake.
Yeah.
Actually, him and like a bunch of the cast were like hashtagging on Twitter, like "not my Chucky," and they were not supporting that whatsoever. But yeah, so the show actually takes place after Cult of Chucky. So there's a lot of things from like the older movies, a lot of flashbacks about
Yeah.
Charles Lee Ray. So yeah, if you didn't like the remake, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's great news. I think I'll start catching up on that then.
Yeah, you should. It's a good time. Oh. Yeah, Aaron, that's interesting that you say that. I feel like people that aren't into horror movies, I feel like they don't understand that like watching horror movies sometimes is, well, for me all the time, it's kind of a way to like safely face my fears in a safe space. So it's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, no, it can be very therapeutic.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you
100%
guys
agree.
ever, because I assume most of you have Shudder, right?
Mhm.
There used to be a documentary on there called Why Horror, and it was rather long. I think it was like 2 hours or something. But yeah, one of like the consensus is that it's a very safe way to sort of like face your fears, and it's sort of comforting for a lot of people. It's very
Mhm.
strange how that backwards way works, but it's pretty unanimous actually. It's pretty common.
Yeah. I know, Larry. We're all about the trauma gang here. Oh, sorry, that's not for me. I keep hitting your messages, Shaheem, and they're not for me. Oh, love that for you. I see a Ginger Snaps
Very
poster
nice.
behind Caesar.
Yes.
That is my favorite werewolf film. So.
That is actually how I found your channel. Was
Oh shit!
when you were talking about Ginger Snaps? Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting. Wow. People can really find me if they look up Ginger Snaps. That's kind of awesome. I never watched The Cursor Cults. By the way, I came from Cody's channel. Oh, I love that. Welcome. Thanks so much for coming through after watching my stream with Cody. For those who don't know, I actually was on Cody Leach's channel to discuss episode 4 of the Chucky series. It was a great time. If you have not seen the show yet, though, maybe you don't want to watch that stream because we do discuss spoilers. But if you have, you should check it out. She said she stopped watching horror movies since she saw Candyman. Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was like a quote from her.
Funny story about Candyman. Like when I was a kid, like young kid, like 6, 5, 6, 7 sort of age, I remember I used to like be obsessed with like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I saw there was this film Candyman, and I thought it was like something to do with that. And I was like, "Oh, Mum, can I watch this?" My mum was like, "No way."
Candyman. You probably thought it was so pure, right?
Yeah, and then obviously grew up, then forgot about it, and then one day I watched it and realized I probably shouldn't have watched that when I was 5. But
oh my god,
that is a real fucked up Rickroll where you get your
I mean, it's no wonder you didn't want to watch horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe you have some hidden trauma that you blacked out.
Yeah.
I can attest. I've been there. You know, like, maybe that's what happened. And then you were just like, fuck horror movies. And now you're like, I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm back. I love
But
it.
it's funny,
you know?
like Willy Wonka actually fucked me up when I was a little kid because we watched that, and for whatever reason, we watched it in school, and I was in and out of the movie. I wasn't really 100% paying attention, and I was convinced, though, from the parts that I saw, that the whole point of the movie, he was turning children into candy and then eating them. Like, that was my takeaway from watching Willy Wonka, so it was the most terrifying experience of my elementary school years.
Whoever is the rights holders, they need, you know, they did the banana splits. They did a banana splits movie. Did you see that?
Oh, I know,
was
but I
like-
haven't seen that.
No, what the fuck is banana splits?
It's like the
It's like
animatronics.
It's like a kids show.
Wait, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? Wait, is this? Wait, this was a kids show. Hold on. Let's
If you
go
look
back.
up the banana splits, you'll see what I mean. And then they obviously got the rights to it, and they made a slasher film out of it. And whoever owns the rights to the Willy Wonka IP, we need a slasher film from that
my
IP.
God.
It's got to happen.
They are making a new Willy Wonka movie. Actually,
Yeah, it's like a
I saw that.
backstory thing.
I'm still
the young actor
taken
from Zoom is
aback.
in it.
What is banana splits?
Oh my God! Look it
Hold
up.
on, I'm gonna look
Look it
right
up.
now.
Shit, pause the live stream. We got to look up the banana.
Yeah,
Split.
Hold on,
pause.
let me look up some banana split.
Yeah, that was kind of jarring hearing you talk about that. I've never heard of it, so I was like, "What? Is he crazy or something?"
Like,
Oh
I've
wait,
heard
you
of
also
it,
don't know
but,
what banana splits is?
No.
Okay, wait. The Banana Splits, American TV show. What the fuck is this?
so
Oh, Melissa's forever iconic.
Wait, this is some shit that Andy knows about. Andy, this shit is from 1968.
I'm not that old. Holy fuck.
No. Is this your bag? You know all about 60s, you know? Like, you give me all the 60s horror I need. Do you know about this?
I actually don't know about. I know that they exist. I never saw a single episode of the Banana Splits. So
yeah, obviously
I missed it.
It was before my time, as I'm sure you probably figured. But I just remember
It was even before my time, if you can believe such a time existed.
I just
Before all
remember
of our times.
my parents like talking about it, and so I knew of them as I was a kid. I knew what they looked like. They're just if you look them up, you'll see a picture. They're like sort of that's the one.
Oh God!
This shit is fucking scary.
I do
have the
remember
reaction
that.
to
I
this. What the actual fuck is that?
Why.
This
But
guy,
somehow
I don't want him. This is a sleep paralysis demon.
That's what I remember Chuck E. Cheese looking like as a kid. That's terrifying, man.
that is a movie night film there, the Banana Splits movie.
Oh,
That's what
geez.
we gotta do.
Hey, look, I've been wanting to watch that. I'm down.
The only person who's like, I want to watch Sam down is her as she sips on her
I've had
coffee.
Because I have had it on my list. I've just never gotten to it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I never got round
Banana
to it.
Splits
But, yeah.
has been on your list?
Yeah.
Because it's like
What?
No, this can't be real. I'm in the Twilight Zone.
it's interesting though because they got a genuine kids show, got the rights to it, and made a full like slasher film with those characters.
It's a slasher film. Oh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
they're like
origi-
killer
like,
animatronics.
the original series was like a friendly kids show, but they like in 2019 they just bought the rights to it and made them kill everyone.
Oh my god. Okay. You know, maybe for a movie night we'll watch the Banana Splits horror film. Oh my god, that just made my whole fucking day. Jesus Christ, that was amazing. Oh, hello, Lanessa. How are you? First time here on a live stream. Thanks for coming by, boo. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, Aaron. I love your brain and how it works. I agree with that. Oh, I love that for you. That's great.
That's a really good like approach. Like when I took my daughter is 2.5 years old, and she is obsessed with going back. A month ago, she was obsessed with going to Spirit Halloween stores.
Mhm.
Like we would go once a night, like it was Disney World, and she was
That's so
obsessed
cute.
with
I
all
love
the
that.
decorations and all the statues and everything like that. And our house was really, decorated up with a whole bunch of weird horror bullshit. And in a way, I mean, I'm not trying to push horror on her, but definitely showing her that it's, totally safe, so that she doesn't grow up like I think a lot of kids grow up thinking like they never experience anything, and then the first weird or scary thing they run into in their lives, they don't know how to process or deal with it. So at least she'll have had, bumped into some of this weird bullshit at some point in her life before it gets, before she gets too old. But she loves it. I swear to God, she's weirder than I am.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. I love that. That's so cute. That's a great way to go about that.
I'm guessing that Spirit Halloween, just inferring from like conversations, is like a Halloween shop, but we don't have those here. Like, is
Yeah,
it like an all
Really?
year round thing?
no, it's
No.
seasonal. Like they literally, I mean, it's a meme practically. I mean, actually, it is a meme.
Yeah.
They're only open for like the first 2 months or so before Halloween, and they will, much like hermit crabs, kind of inhabit the shells of former stores
Yeah.
that have gone out of business, and then they're just open for a couple of months,
Right.
and they sell all Halloween decorations, and then after those 2 months are up, they close up shop and drive off.
It's actually
Oh,
pretty
go
incredible
somewhere.
what they do, because they have like their
Yeah.
own black walls that they put in, and they're extremely heavy. I've worked at Spirit Halloween twice already, and
Oh
so
wow.
I had to load those up into the trucks, and it takes like 4 people for one of those
Oh my
walls.
God.
So pretty incredible.
Really, I've been so tempted to get a part-time job there only so that I can buy more crap.
It is
Yo,
so much
literally
fun. You get
same.
20% off.
Same.
Every year, that's my dilemma: is do I bother to get another job? I can't afford. I mean, like I already have no time at all, but I'm so desperate.
There's
Our
some
thing,
people who just work there for like a week at a time just to get the benefits of the discounts, and then they'll just leave once they get their first paycheck.
that would
So
be
I
me.
mean, if you want to do it, you really can.
Well, we
There you go.
did a thing. I've talked about this somewhere. I don't know if I mentioned it on the Discord, but I talked about how my wife and I, before we bought this place, we had a house that we rented for a while, and we went to a Spirit Halloween after Halloween, and they put everything on sale for like 50% off, and this was like 10 years ago. They severely discounted everything that was in the store, and so we just bought a bunch of crap. We bought carloads of stuff. It was embarrassing. Again, this was pre-child, and we had no responsibility, so we were idiots with money. And so we bought carloads of Halloween decorations, brought it back to this spooky old house that we were living in at the time. And we were just like, oh, it's a shame it's after Halloween, because this would be a badass Halloween party. We could really decorate. And that's why. And we decorated, and we invited all our friends over the next weekend, and said, hey, we're going to have an after Halloween party. And everyone came over. Everyone went to Spirit Halloween. They bought the costumes real cheap, like 75% off, 50% off, whatever it was. And we've been doing that ever since for the last 10 years. Like I think this is 9 years. Where next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary. But it's just become an annual tradition now, where we go to Spirit Halloween, buy a bunch of stuff after the holiday, and then we fill our house with decorations. And then we have a Halloween party every year after, like, the weekend after Halloween.
That's pretty cool. You know, you could buy like the actual like cardboard and decorations on the wall too, right? They sell all that stuff.
Some places
I didn't know you could
are
do
willing to like sell the displays, like not only the
everything.
stuff, but they're like, you could buy if you want to buy the racking off the wall, go ahead, because we don't want
Seriously.
to put this shit back in the storage. Which is what they do.
Yep.
That's amazing. Oh, I learned so much about Spirit Halloween just now. Love that. Sorry, Shaheem, I didn't read this. 1 second. Very desensitized to horror, but every now and then I'll see an unpredictable horror movie that would scare the shit out of me and keep me up at night. Lights Out is a great example.
I love that.
Oh, That's interesting. The Lights Out short film, because originally the movie was like a short film. The short film terrified me. I mean, the feature, I thought it was good, but it didn't scare me as much. But the short film definitely fucked with me. And I was at a point where I wasn't like scared of horror movies anymore. So it's interesting that you say that. I remember watching that short film like, oh my God, I wish I didn't watch this.
Yeah, the short is actually very scary, and it was pretty unique at the time when it came out too.
Yeah.
And I see why it went so viral, because as soon as I saw it, I had to show it to all my friends and get their reactions.
Yeah.
Like it was just the funnest thing to share around.
Yes, there was that, and then there was another horror short film that I saw that fucking like, oh my God, I still won't watch it. It was called Bedfellows. Has anyone seen that?
Never.
I don't know, but I don't fuck with it. I will never see it again. I remember it scared the shit out of me.
Is Bedfellows the one where the person was in bed and getting a text from someone?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be right next to them, and then when you see the camera, you see the face, and it's a really fucked up, weird face lying next to them.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's terrifying. That face is like, yeah. Look up. You can actually just watch a GIF of that scene.
Yes, there are GIFs.
Fucking terrifying.
It went viral. Yeah, I'm always like thinking, I'm like, how come that didn't get made into a feature? Because it was like, well, no, there was memes of it and shit.
Yeah.
Like they could have made some bank off that.
I think it was one scene, and they probably had a hard time making a movie out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry guys. Let me catch up here on the chat. I'm very slow reader. You guys know this.
Actually, I'll be right back while you're looking at to respond to something on my camera.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Hey, Christopher. How are you tonight? They used to rerun Banana Splits on Cartoon Network. Yo, I gotta see this shit.
on like Boomerang and shit. Yeah.
Me and Caesar don't know what the fuck this is.
There's a slasher on Cartoon Network? Like, for real?
No, so the show.
Twilight Zone. What the hell?
The show itself isn't a slasher. It's just like a normal kids show.
Yeah.
With
they made a
suits.
movie that's a slasher, right?
Yeah, a couple of years ago they just. I think it was a Hanna-Barbera production. But whoever it was bought the rights to the show.
Yeah.
And made a story where I haven't seen it, but I think the gist of it is that they make like animatronics of the Banana Splits characters, and they start going around killing people. So I fucking love the novelty of that. I think we should turn every kids show needs to get a slasher film. Is my philosophy, and this is the start of it. So
yes. Yeah. Hello, how are you? I'm seeing so many new faces here in the chat. Welcome, Jenny. Oh, Mike, did you watch the Poughkeepsie tapes? Yeah, so I actually did watch the Poughkeepsie tapes with Melissa like a couple months ago, maybe a year ago almost. But
close to a year.
We're
just far gone.
Yeah, I must be very desensitized. I didn't really get. A lot of people were like, "This is very disturbing," etc. But like, didn't hit for me. I don't know. But like, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I saw that one recently, and I went into it completely blind, so it actually did kind of disturb me. At some points in the film, I was like, I don't know if I should be watching this, because it felt a little bit real at times. But I was like, oh no, it's just a movie. And then I saw the reviews after of everyone complaining like, this too disturbing, it went too far. And I was like, all right, if I read those reviews, I would have gone in knowing, it would have been that shocking. But going in blind, it kind of it hit me out of nowhere. I was like, well, this is kind of disturbing, man.
Maybe I should have went in blind, but it was actually surfacing. It was like resurfacing on TikTok. And TikTok, everybody was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's crazy. And like, I am a 25-year-old woman. I've seen crazy already. Like, I have some experience with disturbing films. So I'm like, oh, really? Okay, let's go. Let's see. And then I was like, no. But maybe if I wasn't super desensitized and already seen some really disturbing films, maybe I would have felt that way. Oh, somebody else knows what banana splits is? What the fuck? I need to check this out. Oh, interesting. Hello. I don't think I've ever seen you here on a stream. Welcome, Spencer, I think is your name, probably. I have watched Paranormal Activity. I think everyone here has watched Paranormal Activity, yeah? Andy's like, this is one that I cannot do, yes.
Even me. Somehow Grandpa Andy managed to watch it at some point.
Andy acts much older than he is, you guys.
I just feel so much older talking to you guys.
I think I Still Know What You Did Last Summer was the second horror film I've ever seen.
Ooh.
Both Bride of Chucky and I Still Know was released the same year. Oh, interesting.
Oh, boy.
I
That
Still
doesn't
Know
make
What
it
You Did
old.
Last Summer is like a bit more comedic than horror, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least, like, for me, you know. I had fun with it, though. The Strangers is one of those movies that definitely, if you have a fear of, like, people coming into your house, then, yeah, that definitely fucked with me also. I don't fuck with home invasion movies. They really freak me out.
Strangers.
That's great.
Home Invasion is probably my favorite because they are probably the ones that scare me the most.
Yeah,
So,
terrifying.
Yeah, I love The Strangers. Fair play to you, Aaron.
What? Yeah, there are a ton of horror films to watch. Agreed. Sorry. I clicked that without reading and I was like, I'm confused. Oh, this is not for me. Sorry. Oh, shit. Is it a bop?
I know the
You
one.
gotta bump that Banana Splits theme song after
Yeah.
this.
Yo, Melissa, do you know it?
I don't remember it.
I do.
I have to listen
Class.
to it.
It is class.
Class. It's class. If it's coming from Frances, I trust that it's class. You know?
Oh.
I'm gonna have to listen to it and like check this out after. I feel so like lost. That's a very interesting question.
Oh,
A better female protagonist, Jennifer Love Hewitt or Neve Campbell? I would probably have to go with Neve Campbell.
It's gotta be.
same.
Yeah, I love
Jennifer
both
Love
actresses,
Hewitt,
but
Mhm.
yeah,
Neve Campbell.
yeah. Neve has a lot more to work with than Jennifer
Very
does.
true.
Yeah.
I know what she did last summer, so it's more of a script thing than it is an acting thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're both great actresses.
Williamson, he does scream, and it's very perceptive. He's sort of deconstructs all these tropes, and then he does I Know What You Did Last Summer, where he basically just unapologetically uses all those tropes. And I don't, well, for me at least, there's no argument as to which one of them is better, but I think they're both fun, and they're both fun films.
Yeah. Mike, Melissa would love you for this. She loves
Wow.
Martyrs.
Oh god.
Martyrs is like a movie that stuck with Melissa.
Oh yeah.
Again, I must be super desensitized. Martyrs didn't stick with me the way it has stuck with some people. Very well made film, though. Hello, friends. Thank you for showing love. I love you. Oh my god, you know what banana splits is?
Everyone
Oh
knows
my
banana
fucking
splits.
god! Michael, I'm texting you after this. You gotta tell me more about this. I can't believe I am dumbfounded with banana splits. Are you fucking kidding me? On my own stream, I look like an idiot.
To be fair, it is very niche. Like,
Is it?
unless you were a kid in like what the 60s or 70s, it's quite niche.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I wouldn't be yourself up about it. Of all the films out there, I don't think the Banana Splits movie based on the Banana Splits is a must see.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Chilling in your corner? Shadow Creep represent. Love that for you. I hope you stick around. Oh, I already answered this. Yeah. Sorry. Wow, you have a lot of like really good questions, Carter. Favorite Evil Dead movie? It's Evil Dead 2 for me. Anyone else? Thoughts? I thought you guys were just gonna dive in.
I like blanked out.
2 any day of the week.
2.
2's really good.
Yours?
I can say 2.
Really? 2 for you. What about you, Caesar?
Well, hold on. Someone's wearing an Evil Dead 2 shirt, I see.
Oh, are you?
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Awesome.
So you know where I'm at.
So I hate to admit this, but I've actually never seen them, but I have heard good things about 2. Those are on my list to watch.
Oh wow, I'm surprised. So it's also 2 for you, Andy.
Yes, I fucking love that movie.
Nice.
Why isn't the first one any good? Or is it still a pretty good movie?
It's good.
Very good.
Pretty good. Oh, yeah.
Very good.
But it was kind of like almost with part 2, they got like a chance to sort of do a do-over with more money and more focus, and you can't like overemphasize what just a kind of a shit show it must have been to make Evil Dead 1, considering they had no real and they had financing, but they didn't have any real financing. That was a labor of love. And then when they got the money to make Evil Dead 2, I think Raimi was able to really just do what he wanted to do, which is pretty fun. A really, really fun movie.
You said something in the last stream about the remakes, Andy, that thought on Evil Dead. Like you said that part of why we love the first one is because we love how it was made. And I think that encapsulates it very well. Like the dedication and passion and the effort and the sort of thrift that went into making that film is like part of that film for like us,
definitely.
You know what I mean? So
that for sure goes into being like when you're a really weird horror fan where you like all the special features, like Evil Dead, that thing has been put out on like 100 different formats. I feel like they've re-released that movie so many different times, so you can watch a lot of different special features to see all the background behind the scenes stuff. And if you've never read it, Bruce Campbell's book is the first book that he wrote, the first autobiography that he wrote, If Chins Could Kill, I think it's called. I've reread that book so many times, and it's such a good deep dive. There's a significant part of the book is talking about how they made Evil Dead. And it's fucking incredible. Rewrite it.
Oh shit! I have a celebrity! Oh my god! I'm trying to move him around. How are you?
I'm drunk as fuck.
Everybody, welcome my friend Michael from Video Creep Reviews here on the channel.
I don't do no fucking banana splits. How'd that happen?
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
Weird. It's weird that you don't know.
Is it though? It's from the 60s.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the movie.
Oh, here's the movie from, Francis.
Oh, like 2. Oh.
I think 2019, 18, something like that though.
No fucking way.
Yeah, it's like recent. Yeah. That didn't drop that long ago.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Hello.
Can I give you like a 5?
Wait, to start?
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, embrace.
This
Look
is
at
a
that.
reunion right here you guys are experiencing. Beautiful patrons, this is my friend Michael Pinero. You can greet each other. This is Francis, Caesar, and Andy.
Hey guys,
Nice to meet you.
I can only give this guy a 5. How do I?
There you go.
Give me a-
No, I have no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Love
Fucking get
it.
it.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna smoke a cigarette and then I'll be out. But like, hi.
Oh, hi. So wait, actually, since you're here, this is great. I'm gonna pause on you guys really quick. Actually, wait, I'm gonna read this one. Lanessa, you live in Europe. Oh my god, girlie knows what banana splits is. I'm a mess, Lanessa. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. Okay, so since we're here and since I have a king here, Michael Pinero, I need to talk to
I like how
you
you
about-
government name me. Like, you don't even call me video creep. It's just straight up.
Name based.
Can you tell that I'm Puerto Rican? Good thing I don't know your middle name. I would have said the whole thing.
My mom only loved me enough to do the bare minimum. I don't have a middle name.
Oh, awesome. I definitely do. My name is crazy. Oh, Melissa's name is even better.
Oh God, no! Listen.
I know, I
Phyllis is about to dot everybody in this fucking chat in a minute. better run.
I'm not. I'm sorry, guys. I'm off the wine. I'm chilling. It's fine. So since I have Michael here and we did Francis already, Michael, are you down to tell us what got you into horror?
Oh man. Yo, honestly, like I feel like a gay kid when it comes to fucking horror. Like I was always gay, but like I didn't know,
Yeah, that's kind of how I figured out I was bi,
Yeah, like
It was always
like,
there.
Yeah,
But, like I didn't know. Yeah.
Like it happened when I was like a fucking teenager. Like I remember I had like DVDs and shit, like a nice little collection. And then one day I realized that most of my DVDs were just horror films. Like, and it wasn't good horror, mind you. It was like fucking, it was like Valentine and fucking like Urban Legends Final Cut. It was like shit like that. But I loved them. And one day I was like, okay, cool. What do I want to watch? And it was like Euro Trip, Road Trip, American Pie. And then it was like all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. And then it was like all the South Play films. I was like, I think I like horror. Like maybe I'll try that. I was like horror curious for a couple years. And then one day I just fucking gave in. But Chucky is like the number one shit that got me like fucking, I dig this.
Wow. I love that. That's very interesting. My story is really crazy. It's probably more along the side of Francis's story, but we'll do me last.
The suspense. You keep teasing us with little.
I don't know though.
Where do we ever know?
It's probably not that interesting of a story, so I'm probably just like hyping you guys up, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's it." So it was Chucky that did it for you then, where you were just like, "I'm locked in."
Oh yeah, for sure. That red-haired little bitch got me good.
He got you. I have an interesting story. I think Michael already knows this because Michael's been my friend for forever. But I have a very interesting story for those who don't know with Chucky.
It never gets old, honestly.
I just opened the beer and it fell.
It's a good one.
Thing fell. It's fine.
That's my favorite sound, is caps hitting the ground.
Yeah, it fell on the ground. Cheers. I will drink to that. So, I love that. We can bond over Chucky. I'm going to go to Caesar now. Tell us, honey. What did it?
So, one of my earliest childhood memories is actually being terrified when I saw Scream. My older sister brought it to the house to show my mom, and I think I just walked in the room to see what was going on. And I saw that in the very beginning when he like turns and you can see him through the window, and just seeing his face like that for the first time just freaked me out. I felt fear that I've never felt before, I know he's called Ghostface, but my kid brain was like, that is like a deformed alien creature with like pasty white skin. it was all droopy or something. It freaked me out. And it wasn't until much later when I watched it that I realized what a great movie it was, and it's actually not that scary. But yeah, that terrified me. Along with it, I saw it on TV, and I didn't even know I had a fear of clowns until I saw the original.
What a whack way to find out that you're scared of clowns.
Yeah,
You might not have had a fear of clowns until that movie.
Dude, it was bad. Like that movie gave me more trauma. That series gave me more trauma than like The Exorcist, which also kind of freaked me out as a kid.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
fuck. Wait, so.
Damn.
Oh, wait, continue. Do you have more?
No, go ahead. Were you gonna ask something?
No, I'll talk when you're done with your whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Well, so I took a break from like really serious like horror for a while, but I was with one of my roommates recently, and I always like to show him new scary movies that I find, and he asked me a question once. It was like, why are you into like the macabre? Like what is this fascination with you? Like what were you watching as a kid? And I actually remembered that I would always watch on Discovery Kids. There's a show that was every weekend, or like a series of shows, and they grouped it in a category called Scary Saturday Night Sleepover, and they even had like a tune and everything, but they had like paranormal investigations and like just crazy like horror stories, like, but for kids. And so I kind of revisited that recently, and it was a lot of fun to watch like what my childhood was all about. But yeah, that was like my soft reopening into horror. And then I think as an adult, I just kind of slowly started getting more and more into like the actual scary movies and I found out that I'm not so much afraid of clowns anymore, which is a great thing. And The Exorcist is more of a comedy to me these days than anything.
Damn.
But the last good movie I saw that really like solidified the love of the genre for me, which I know technically isn't horror, but it was a movie called, well, I'm sure you guys have seen it, A Quiet Place. And I love when movies can bring emotion in like that. And
that movie made me cry.
Oh, for sure. It made me cry too.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go cry. I was like, I'm watching a horror movie. Hey! Like, and
So
then I'm like, oh.
Do you guys consider that a horror? Because it is more of like a thriller, no?
I think it is more of a thriller. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was too.
Oh shit!
bold with that.
Like absolutely horror film.
Never mind.
I'm quite liberal with my, I consider Jaws part of the horror family. Do you know what I mean? So I'm quite liberal with the horror term. But
okay, good, because I am too. Yeah, like Silence of the Lambs, it's horror.
That is horror. Yeah.
Every time you talk, it's like a beautiful song.
What?
I said every time you talk, it's a beautiful song, Francis.
Oh yeah, I love when Francis talks.
Yeah, if you want to put a request in to say some Game of Thrones shit, he'll do it.
Francis, cheers to Francis.
Dude, can you just like say my name, like not in a sexy way, like just say it?
I think he's charging for that now.
No, he can't do it not sexy. Sorry.
Sorry. Remind me of your name?
This is why I can't have
You
Michael
say
Pinero on my
Video
stream.
Creep or Michael.
Video Creep and Michael. You can have both.
Slower.
Wait, you said not sexy.
Francis, tell him that he has to subscribe to your OnlyFans to get that content.
Exactly.
You deserve tips.
Oh yeah, you slinging
time-
dick, bro?
You should.
He doesn't have an OnlyFans. It's a joke.
Ah. I'd check out that Ween man.
Leave him.
No, there's no higher praise.
Truly.
That's not the conversation I was expecting to have, but
Francis, it's all jokes.
only on the Sweet and Spooky channel.
I'm sorry in advance. It's all
It's all good. It's all
fun.
good.
I don't really want to look at your dick, bro. It's all good. Is there curiosity? Of course, but like, I also want to see Andy and Caesar's dick. If I can.
He doesn't.
Everyone wants to see everyone's dick all the time. It's okay.
Look, this stream is live, and we've all had way here, so maybe don't say we want to see some dick.
This is so video creep right now. This is so video creep. Let's bring it back. Let's be sweet and spooky now.
Yeah, what was the point of this conversation again?
Literally nothing. I made a joke about you having an OnlyFans. You don't have one.
No, I meant what were we talking about before that?
Oh. Wait, fuck all of this. We were talking about Caesar's experience with horror.
Right.
Let's get back. Let's bring it back.
A Quiet Place.
So, Quiet Place.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that was pretty much the end of it. Yeah. Well, now with the subscription to Shudder, I see a lot of crazy shit. So that's sort of my journey right now.
Interesting. Have you been like branching off into like older horror films on Shudder? I know they've been adding a lot of older films.
Yeah, I've been trying to. There's I noticed a lot of those older films are really slow to get to the point.
Right?
And so that's hard for me to get through, but there's some gems there that I really, really liked. Top of my head, I think of the Slumber Party Massacre. That one was a really fun watch. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Oh fuck yeah! Did you dig the new one?
He loves it.
Oh fuck
the new one.
Yeah. They just did a remake of it, like sci-fi.
Oh, never heard of it. No.
It
Gotta check
rules,
it out.
man. If you dig on the first 3 Slumber Party Massacres, it really pays a lot of fucking love and homage to those 3 films. So if you dig, man, get in there.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
The other week, right? It was recent.
Yeah, super. Yeah, like in the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I don't know I don't know where it is over here. If you can get it at the minute, but
Become a Patreon of mine. I'll give it to you for free.
This is just him trying to get you guys to be on his Patreon.
It's a hustle, you know that.
Gotta do what you gotta do, innit?
No, I love it. I love having Michael here. It's been a minute since Michael's been on the channel. Before we continue, let me catch up on chat real quick. Bought me a book of Victorian ghost stories.
Ooh.
Wow. I love that for you. That is that's class. As Francis would say, that's class. Right, Francis?
That is class.
Exactly. That is truly class. Victorian ghost stories? That's amazing. That's I wish my intro to horror was like Vincent Price. I could be like, I'm so classy. But that wasn't the case for me.
That's a flex.
What?
That's a flex.
It is a flex, yeah.
Now that I think about it, I actually read a lot of the Goosebumps stories when I was a kid too. So I think that was a sort of soft introduction. I'm actually rereading some of them right now. They're pretty interesting.
That's basically Victorian ghost stories.
Goosebumps.
R.L. Stein and M.R. James are exactly not.
I used to read Goosebumps, but I didn't read R.L. Stein really.
I think you did.
Is it the same?
Yeah. That's kind of like
R.L. Stein did Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit. Cheers. I'm drunk. I don't know. I'm thinking they're different things at this point. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, no, you're there. You're there.
The support is what matters. This is what my patrons sign up for me to give the wrong information.
We literally just show up to get drunk.
I can go fuck myself, honestly.
And also get movie
We're just here to
recommendations.
drink.
Wait, so wait a second. Who the fuck am I thinking of? Is there another author that did children's books that was horror theme, or am I insane?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has one, but I can think of. There was a guy named Bruce Colville who did some weird, fucked up books when I was a kid. And again, that's 100 years ago. But when I was a kid, there was a guy named Bruce Colville who did books.
Do you remember his books?
Yeah, he did the My Teacher is an Alien books.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen those books. I think I might be thinking of VC Andrews with her weird as fuck thriller horror books.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking of, like Flowers in the Attic and shit.
Is there no love for fucking the scary stories to tell in the dark books?
Oh shit, that too.
I was so into those as a kid.
Yeah. Who wrote those? Who wrote those? That's not R.L. Stein.
That's
not it.
I'm back. I'm sober now. It's not R.L. Stein. Oh
I
my
still have
god,
some of those around here somewhere.
you guys truly get to see who I am.
Huh?
She can't always be fact check ready.
Oh my god.
Very
Sorry, I'll
cool.
be right back again,
Interesting. No, do you? You're good. You know, me and Melissa watched Shopping Mall. We like weren't about it. Melissa's like,
I love that. Okay, I hated Shopping Mall for like years. I fucking didn't dig it at all. And then one random day, I was like, let me honestly give this movie a try. And I ended up fucking loving it. Like, I was a big. Now I love Shopping Mall.
really?
Yeah, I mean, Barbara Crampton, fucking Kellen Mahoney. Like, it's good stuff. It's fun.
Maybe we should rewatch
Yeah.
Melissa. I remember we
second
watched it and we were so bored. We were like, oh, this sucks.
For years, I hated that movie, but now I love it.
I love that for you. Oh, I see some. Yeah, guys, don't forget to let me know what was your intro to horror in the chat if you're just coming in. Intro to horror was Evil Dead from 1981. Jesus Christ. I almost said 1998. I've had some drinks. Wow, that's a great intro to horror. The Evil Dead. Wow, mine is really, it's not as good as that. Shit, I wish I had class like half of the people here.
Oh no, same. My first horror movie that I ever watched was dog shit. The first horror movie I ever watched was like through the crack of a door because my parents were watching it, and I just like was a sneaky kid. And
Of course you were.
They were watching fucking Pinocchio's Revenge.
I haven't seen that.
You don't need to.
Okay.
No, I'm good. It's a terrible film.
That's weird.
Do you watch paranormal TV shows? Like those shows that are like, they're talking about like how they were haunted and then they have people that like reenact shit. Is that what you mean by that?
Everything.
I was thinking more like ghost hunting shows, which I've seen too many that are
maybe
clearly
it's ghost
fake.
hunting shows.
Right.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
like celebrity ghost stories.
I think they all kind of
Of course
count
you are.
because they're still like
Of course.
paranormal.
Yeah, paranormal TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely used to
Ghost
watch what was it? Was it Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters?
Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
Actually, too. Yeah, because Sci-Fi I think had Ghost Hunters for like the longest time too.
I did used to watch those. There was at one point in my life, when I was in middle school, that I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking paranormal investigator. I need to see if there are like courses in college for this. And there wasn't any. So like anyone can be a paranormal investigator, I guess. Yes, I have seen 13 Ghosts. I think everybody here for the most part is a 13 Ghosts fan. I don't know about you, Caesar.
I've never seen it actually.
Shit.
Well,
Do you
Lillard's
like
the
Matthew
one.
Lillard?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh my god, you have to watch it.
So is 13 Ghosts? This is going to be a terrible question, but is it a movie or a show or what is it?
It's a movie.
Okay.
There's two movies because the one with Matthew Lillard is actually a remake of a much older film, which I haven't seen. So yeah, but I heard they're both good.
And if anyone wants to hear our thoughts on them in depth, check out the last stream. Got to plug that because we talked about 13 Ghosts in depth there. We went in. I'm pretty
Look
sure
at
like, almost
him.
everyone had it on our list.
Look at him promoting the last stream. We love to see it here on this channel. Okay, sorry guys, I'm really slow. I see so many messages here. Sorry. The Brothers Grimm. You know, that's also one that I don't think I've read any of those. Interesting. I have read a lot. I did start reading Stephen King from a young age, and I was much more into Stephen King than I was like R.L. Stine, and so I don't know what that says about me.
Yo, So Weird feels like a freaking fever dream because I feel like no
what
one
the
else
fuck is
ever knows that.
that?
It used
Am I
to be on
insane?
Disney Channel.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It was so good. I used to watch that. I used to wake up super early just to watch that every weekend.
Wait, what is so weird?
It was
So
it was a show on Disney Channel. It was kind of like amongst like they were like she was on tour with her mom and like every city that they would stop, like weird shit was always happening.
You know what? Fuck this. I don't know any of the things that you guys are talking about. But like, did anyone here fucking watch Archie's Weird Mysteries? Come on! At like 7 a.m. before going to school? Archie's Weird Mysteries. Come on. All you guys that are like, I love Riverdale. Have you seen the OG Archie shit? Archie's Weird Mysteries. Come on.
I haven't even watched Riverdale.
Come
so I
on.
don't really know.
Come on. Riverdale sucks now. So good.
I don't support Archie because he's toxic.
He is.
You're the love interest. Get over it. Make a choice.
Oh my god, I love you so much. Thank you, Shaheem. I really appreciate the love for me. I know I'm such a mess. I don't know how everyone here deals with me. Oh my god, I can't even click anything. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, Larry! Your first horror was Friday the 13th, part 2. Interesting. That's a pretty good one. I did struggle to watch the entire franchise, but I did really like part 2 of Friday the 13th. Maybe because I really like Ginny as the final girl, but
I think struggle was putting it lightly.
Oh hell
That's
yeah!
a polite way of saying it.
Francis, I'm being polite. Keep up. Understand the assignment, boo.
Sorry to the Friday the 13th fans.
All right, I know I crashed your stream, but I'm gonna get out of here. I just came to say hi.
Are you leaving?
I'm leaving. I gotta go live
That's
my.
so sad.
It's
Do
okay.
what?
I mean, fucking, I'm around.
Wait, what do you have to do?
I just live my stupid life. Like, if I don't, who will?
All right, cool. You're more than welcome to stay, but you can go.
Yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
All right.
Nice.
Bye.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
coming.
Yeah, Mike. See you.
Take care.
Bye. Wow, lots of questions here. What do you think of the film Mama? I thought it was okay. I don't have any deeper thoughts than that, really.
I don't watch that movie a lot.
With Mama, I thought it was all right. I thought it was a good feature, like a first feature for Andy Muschietti. But if I'm being honest, I definitely prefer the It remakes that he did over Mama.
Can you remind me which one that movie is? I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know. Is there a kid in the woods at some point?
I think so. It's been a very long time since I've seen
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Or like the mom's a ghost or something?
Yes, and
Okay,
it has Jessica Chastain. If that rings any bells, maybe not.
Yeah.
No.
The other lead was from he was an actor in Game of Thrones too. All right, the male lead in that movie.
Oh
Like
yes, he is. No, he is.
Right.
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce his name, but I know he was in Game of Thrones. Is all I know.
I think his name is like Nikolai
Yes.
something. I don't remember
That's
his
it.
last name. Yeah.
That's as far as I can get with his name. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was very good in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm catching up here. Anyone excited for Scream 2022? Yes.
Cautiously excited, but excited nonetheless.
Cautiously, really? Why? Oh my god, are you frozen?
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no, you're frozen! Francis!
What a cliffhanger.
Will we ever know?
He'll come
Yeah,
back.
right.
It's okay, he'll come back.
Am I here?
Oh, he's
there
back.
There you
He's
go.
back. He's
I
back.
could hear you the whole time, but I couldn't
Oh.
see any of you.
Why
I don't
cautiously?
know. Just because I really don't want it to be bad, and it's sort of it's Wes Craven's not legacy, but like it's sort of they owe it to Wes to make it good. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a franchise that, apart from the third one, in my opinion, is pretty good. Like they're all pretty quality, especially for sequels. I think I just think there's a lot to live up to, and there's a danger, especially of Scream, where it's a very self-aware franchise, of it to lose that perspective and go on too long and lose the point, if you know what I mean, of being sort of perceptive. But I am excited. I just really hope it's not a letdown. But we shall see.
Did you see the trailer for the new
The
one?
new I have avoided it like the plague. I am staying as far away from it as possible.
I was gonna avoid it like the plague, the way I did with Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, because Halloween's my favorite franchise, so I avoid those trailers like the plague. But I just decided to give in with Scream and watch the trailer. And to be honest, I was very underwhelmed.
Right.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know if it made me more excited. I was just like,
this isn't filling me with hope. This is not the message I needed.
No. I want it to be great, you know?
Yeah.
I want it to be great. That's it. Those are my thoughts.
We can hope.
It's fine. My thoughts aren't the end all be all. Yes! I'm living! You know Archie's Weird Mysteries. Yes, a fucking classic. We fucking stand. Do you know I have a VHS? Wait, I'm gonna get it.
Oh my god.
Because I'm so real. Hold on. It's right here, so I don't have to go far.
What is happening right now?
We're talking about Archie's Weird Mysteries. I can hear you, so don't talk shit on me. Okay. But like, this is how much. This was my copy as a kid. I was so obsessed. Thank you, Queen. We have to take care of physical media, you know? But yeah. We stand Archie's Weird Mysteries here. That's it. That was my whole thing. I should do a spotlight on the the Afterlife with Archie comics are really, really fun. I actually have those. I do like Scooby-Doo. I see your comment here. Big fan. I did an entire video reviewing Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island in a Velma cosplay. So if that's something you fancy, you should check that out. Yes, that is his name. Thank you for telling me, Lanessa.
Oh wow, yeah, that last.
Although I still can't pronounce the last name.
I can't pronounce it either. I'm not going to butcher his name.
I'm too stupid. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Oh shit, we have an interesting question here. After this question, I'm going to get to Andy's first experience into horror. Have any of you guys suffered any scary dreams as children watching horror movies growing up? Interesting. For me, when we get to mine, yes, I have, and I will discuss that when I talk about my first introduction to horror.
It's a mixture of horror movies and just for whatever reason I was like really badly by nightmares, like regardless of horror movies as a child, to the point that I had to be on like heavy sleeping medication because I would just not sleep at all because it was constant, with or without horror movies.
That's awful.
I had like severe trauma for that. Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
For me, it was strange. It was a recurring nightmare with Michael Myers, but I didn't find the movie scary even as a kid. But in my dream, I was terrified because he would just slow walk towards me, and I would always run into a corner where I couldn't run.
Oh my god!
Wow, Andy, did you have any nightmares regarding any horror?
No, not from horror movies. And I've never even thought about it until now. I realized my only nightmares that I've had were always like related to just real life anxiety. I've never had one that was even remotely related to a horror movie, and I've not realized that until just now, really thinking about it.
I get a lot of those. I get a lot of those nightmares that are related to real life anxieties.
Yeah.
So much of that, way more than horror movies. I don't really get any nightmares from horror movies now. When I was a kid, a different story.
Yeah.
Francis?
I don't think too much. I think I've had like a couple, maybe. I think I've had a few where it's like bits of being inspired. Like I can see like I don't know, my brain's morphed and things. But I always remember the amount of times, as you can imagine, the amount of times I go on about it. But the amount of times I've seen the Saw films, I've never dreamed of. I was in a Saw trap, which maybe that's bad luck saying it out loud, but I've managed to get away without having that kind of nightmare. Although there was one time, and it scared the shit out of me, but there was one time, I think I was listening to like the Saw theme on YouTube before I went to bed. And for some reason, my computer, I think it was like on like standby or something, and I don't know how, but for some reason it turned on in the night and woke me up blasting the Saw theme.
Oh my god.
I woke up and I was not ready for that. I don't know what was going on. I thought some shit was going to go down, but
you thought you were next.
Yeah. So that wasn't so much a nightmare, but
Oh my
I mean,
god.
it's dream related, I guess. But fucking hell, that was something. But yeah, I don't know. Not a lot of nightmares from like horror, thankfully.
Nice. I love this comment here. She wants us to try and say his name all together. So I'm kind of concerned about the last part. Nikolai co-star Walda? Or is it like Waldwa?
Waldwa.
Waldwa?
Waldwa?
His name is amazing. Yes, I have been seeing Chucky. Also, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I absolutely love the last episode. Not everybody here has seen it, so no spoilers, please.
Is it just the first one? You remember you sent me like the first one on YouTube?
Yeah, the first.
Is it just the first one?
The first episode and the second episode are on YouTube.
Oh, the second one as well.
Mm-hmm. The ones after that, I don't think Sci-Fi or USA put them up on YouTube.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shame. I'll check the second one out though, and I'll get them eventually. But
yeah.
I don't know. Unless I'm missing something, I don't think they're here, which is annoying. But
Waldwa. I got it, Linessa. Girl, you're teaching me a lot. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
That's rough.
What the
fuck?
What a day.
Do you know what? Was it your first introduction to horror like willingly? Willingly? Or did somebody like tie you up and was like, you gotta watch this?
These are the ones you must watch.
Like at 13 years old, somebody was like, you gotta watch this shit. That sounds traumatic. Hello, by the way, Elijah. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before. Oh my gosh. That is quite a journey. I don't think... If that was my first introduction to horror, I don't even know how I would be today.
Cannibal Holocaust is a first introduction to just trauma.
Oh, for sure. That's a movie that I actually didn't watch. I didn't watch it until Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder did like a commentary. And I was like, all right, I'll watch this. And I tried to watch it, and I remember most of the time I couldn't look at it, and I was really disgusted. And I was like, all right, I'm just listening to Joe Bob Briggs. I'm listening to his voice. And I'm
let him
listening to
guide
Darcy
you.
the Mail Girl. Like, I'm good. I'm safe. It's fine. Yeah, it's going to be a no for me with the Cannibal Holocaust. But that is a crazy intro. I've never seen anyone say that, so you are quite unique. Okay, so before I continue with these amazing questions, you guys have so many amazing questions. Let's go to Andy. Andy, why don't you tell me what got you into horror? Tell me all about it.
Okay, so let's go back. I know you guys have all been waiting. You're like, all right, here's an hour-long story. I'm not going to go back to the very beginning of society, although almost, only because I do think, and I'll make this brief, but I do think it's related. Like when I was a little kid, and maybe I'd be curious to see how many people can relate to this. But when I was a little kid, I was obsessed with mythology. Like they used to have this thing when I was a kid in elementary school. They used to have like book sales, like just for kids. Like you buy them. Like I don't think they do it anymore. Obviously, they don't do it anymore. But again, 100 years ago, when I was a small child, they did this thing where you could buy like little books from you open up a flyer. And anyway, I was obsessed with mythology, and I would buy whatever mythology books they had. And in truth, I think that kind of leads back to a love of horror, because like mythology stories are cool, like hero adventure stories, but really what you're getting is like awesome monsters, and that begins a love of monsters for sure. I think. Again, I'll be proven wrong or right here eventually. So anyway, I love the idea of monsters, and monsters having very complicated backstories, which again you'll find all the time in mythology, and so I think that began it like really early on. Anyway, again, this is not my therapy session. My first introduction to horror, though, happened. Vanessa, you know me all too well, apparently.
I love her. Vanessa, I love you.
Started in 40,000.
Girl, you're the best.
You have no idea. I'm about to shorten my original story down like so much. I could have gone on for an hour about the origins of why I love horror.
Give us the long version. We're here on stream. Tell us everything.
Damn.
Okay,
Understand the assignment.
If you're watching this after the fact, fast forward 30 minutes, because this is going to be a bitch. I'm telling you. Anyway, well, I'll tell you what. If we're gonna go back, so I love I love monsters, and then when I'm a little kid, God, my school library. I was also like a little artist when I was a little kid. I used to love any books about drawing. So when I was a little kid, I picked up a book out of our school library about drawing monsters. And yes, I'm going back to when I was 7. Silly. She's like, what the fuck?
No, it's great. I love this. Keep telling us. I love listening to you talk.
There was a book about drawing monsters, but it was mainly monsters from horror movies. Like, and a lot of them was Hammer horror movies. So you'd open up this book, right? And each page in this book was it was dedicated to a different monster. So it'd be like Lon Chaney as whatever, something from like London After Midnight, or Lon Chaney Jr. as a werewolf, or Boris Karloff as something, and it would be like 4 panels, right? Vanessa is killing me because she knows. How do you know already?
Why do I fucking love her?
I hate that I pictured Brenda from Scary Movie saying that's inspiration.
I fucking love her. Vanessa, you've never been here. You're amazing. You are the star of the night.
I'm a very old man. But seriously, in those books, it would literally be like a picture of the mummy, and it was clearly like Boris Karloff as the mummy, or whomever. So it'd be each page would be 4 panels, and one panel used to be like a circle, and then panel 2 would be a circle with like 2 eyes in it. Panel 3 would be like a circle with the ears on it, and then panel 4 would be the perfectly renditioned version of like Bela Lugosi as a vampire. And I would used to read this book and be like, yo, I think I'll miss a bunch of fucking steps because I have no goddamn idea. But regardless, I was obsessed with that book, not because I wanted to learn how to draw Bela Lugosi as a vampire, but because like it was filled with monsters I'd never fucking heard of before. And I was so curious about them. It was so interesting, so many unique looks and so many cool names and everything. So it begins back there. Now let's flash forward at least 10 years. At least 10 years to save ourselves time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a little kid, I had a friend who sort of like moved into my neighborhood. It was a young girl who moved into my neighborhood, and she used to come over to my house all the time to watch movies or hang out, right? My family, my mother was so happy because she thought I had a girlfriend. I did not have a girlfriend. What I had was a girl who was escaping her really like wild, crazy family, and she would come over to like just escape, right? Mm-hmm. And what that culminated in was like someone that I could share this horror movie experience with. I didn't know at the time, but it would begin with seeing that they were playing a movie late at night. And this is like, again, this is many years ago. And this is a New York TV station. Okay, all we had was a couple of TV channels, cable TV channels back then. Again, we're talking like the late 80s, early 90s maybe. We're watching WPIX in New York, Channel 11 it was for us. And they used to play like Gonzo, black and white, whatever movies on Saturday, Sunday afternoons. Used to play like Godzilla or Frankenstein versus somebody type movies in the afternoons. But at night, occasionally they would play a horror movie, and it would be one of those like they would put a banner before the movie saying, "Hey, be careful! This is actually kind of a spooky movie. Viewer discretion advised." And they did this one night, and they played A Nightmare on Elm Street. That is my first official like horror movie that I ever saw. And I mentioned my friend because the two of us, I taped it at night on an old VCR with commercials and everything. That's what we used to do back then. And the two of us watched that movie together. And that was like my first official, really scary like horror movie experience. And I had seen parts of like The Exorcist earlier in my life, and I was too young to even be able to like figure out what I was seeing at the time. But that movie, watching Nightmare on Elm Street, that was my first real horror movie experience. And the reason I say all that other crazy bullshit that I said earlier is because Freddy Krueger is an amazing horror monster.
Yeah.
And the idea that Wes Craven, and is a consummate horror director, and I love him to death. The idea that he came up with that creature as a monster, and it was a real monster. It's not like a Jason Voorhees. It's not a Michael Myers. It's a monster. He's a totally supernatural entity that exists in dreams. That's a horror movie monster, and it was the first one that I'd ever seen outside of Frankenstein and Dracula in the old black and white movies that really, really stuck with me. And knowing everything about that monster and watching the characters in the story have to go up against that and beat up against this really terrifying thing. Again, if you think about the first movie, it wasn't quite as hokey as it became later on in the series. It's a really terrifying concept, especially because you're totally helpless and it gets you while you sleep. That was my first real horror movie experience. And again, watching it with this friend of mine who would later go on to watch like Evil Dead with me and to watch Dead Alive with me and all this other stuff. But that's where we kind of began our horror movie, life, really being huge fans of it. And again, we're talking about the late 80s. So this is before a world where you could go online and find your community. It was a totally different time. And it was really special to find someone that you could share that kind of thing with. And so that became like our ritual. She was escaping her world and I was definitely escaping mine. And the two of us were just like losing ourselves in these batshit crazy horror movies, which really became such an important part of our lives. And ever since then, it's been like it's just been a part of my DNA. Just horror as an escape and horror as like a way to cope. Like I think we've talked about here already. But anyway, that's my origin story, and it begins with A Nightmare on Elm Street and just that whole like world of sharing something really cool and unique with another person, and never sleep on what a terrifying experience that first Nightmare on Elm Street movie really is. It's amazing.
Wow. It's amazing that Nightmare on Elm Street was your first horror movie.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could say that. That's like such an amazing answer. I hate to go back to talking like Francis, but like that's class. Like your first was Nightmare on Elm Street.
If there was ever a class film to have your first horror, it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Exactly. See, Francis can speak much better than I am. So, I love that. I love how we took it all the way back to like the monsters.
Set up the story.
And shit.
Get
to that.
Give me another hour, man. I'll take it back to the Stone Age if you want.
No, dude, I fucking live for it. Like, this is your stream, Andy. It's you. I love that.
Deserves an Andy one-man podcast.
Yeah, it does.
Alongside Andy's one-man like table reads. That has got to happen one day.
Every episode that I do, though, will begin like 60,000 years ago, and I'll talk about how some guy scrawled something on a fucking cave wall, and that's why I love The Exorcist to this day.
Okay, I have to pee really bad because I've been drinking really heavily. So I'm gonna have Melissa just like interact with the chat. I'll be right back.
Oh my god,
seconds.
where do I even start?
I love you.
Oh,
You're
no.
great.
I'm gonna race Celise real quick to see who pees faster, and we already all know that she's gonna win. So.
Oh no.
She has practice, to be fair. It is like a stream ritual.
Oh,
by
every
this
time.
point. So
It's not a sweet and spooky stream if there's not a pee-pee joke.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no. I don't even know where they left off in the chat.
This is my chance to share all my controversial horror opinions.
Go ahead.
This is my chance to slander Seed of Chucky on the Sweet and Spooky channel. Fuck Seed of Chucky. Everyone. Fuck Seed of Chucky. Don't rat me out. Don't snitch on me.
Your secret stay with me.
What? Seed of Chucky? No one said anything about that. What? Oh no. Where am I? I think we select these on here, so it's not the same effect. It's not as cool. God damn it.
But we're old school. We don't need that modern technology.
Read it off.
We can read them.
Let's see. I don't know. Kevin Bacon as Freddy Krueger. That would be weird.
Yeah,
Bacon Krueger. Okay.
I think I would pass. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh.
I think I would
Let's
pass.
not.
Yeah, let's just leave it to Rob.
When you're left alone and your bestie says, "I love you," as they flee. There's a demon in your closet and you're about to die. You know what? No, that's it. That is what it feels like.
You won.
In a twist of fate.
Oh my!
Who saw that coming?
Did I beat Celise back?
You did.
If we learned anything from the last stream, that means I could be an actress.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
There's your career path sorted.
Oh my god.
She's back. How's it going?
We're in awe because Andy beat you on his way back here.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Now, I'm an actress.
You are an actress. You know all about the quick change. Quick change, quick key.
Oh my god.
You could be on a stage.
Fuck
Congrats,
yeah.
Andy. You've passed the
Oh my
course.
God.
You're going to the next round. Yeah, I had a lot, been drinking a lot, so took a bit. All right, so how's the chat doing?
Yeah, I read that one.
Oh, you read this one?
That was great.
I literally love her. Lanessa, you're amazing. You're the best. I hope you come by in the future. She's so
oh my
great.
God, I haven't watched
For the very
Gimmicks
least,
in a while.
The amount of times that Lanessa has absolutely put me in the crosshairs and was like, yeah,
She's
I
great.
100% know this motherfucker is bad.
We stand Lanessa. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carter. We're missing all your fun questions here. I have seen your next.
Yes, that was a pretty good one.
I did enjoy it.
I used to love it. I used to think it was amazing. And now I just think it's decent, which is kind of sad.
No, I also think it's just decent, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Christmas vs. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night. I absolutely love Black Christmas though, so I'm gonna say that.
Same. You're in the same one.
Yeah, literally same.
There you go. So now we're at Melissa, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You had so much time to prep, so it's okay.
That was great.
She's like, I have anxiety.
Keep your story within the last 4,000 years and you'll be all right.
Melissa, every time we're on stream, it's like she's never been on stream before. She's like, oh, hi.
I don't know.
It's like, girlie, you've been doing this for a year with me.
Oh my God, I have.
I know.
Ugh. Okay.
Right? Isn't that insane?
Social anxiety, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Oh boy, where do I start?
From the beginning.
Ooh, well, not that, but I'm like trying to think how.
I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think of the root of it all.
Go to it. You got it.
I feel like I was kind of like in a similar boat with Francis, where I like avoided them, but it's like I really couldn't because my siblings were like decades older than me, and that they were going through that phase that that's all they watched. Mm-hmm. So I was prematurely exposed to a lot more than I should have seen at a young age. So I feel like that kind of started off building that fear. And similarly, not to spoil your story that we'll get to soon, Chucky was a big part of my childhood, and not necessarily in the best of ways. My sister, because I used to annoy the shit out of her, as any little sister would, she knew that I had a fear of it, and she instilled in my little tiny 4-year-old brain that doll was going to come after me and would be the end of me. Okay. So that was rough watching that. So I was like really scared of him, and just dolls in particular. Like dolls used to like really creep me out as a kid. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she would go as far as like she literally bought like this little tiny shirt and she put it outside the window and it looked like his. And I really thought that he was outside and that would be my doom. So for the longest time, I was like, I don't know. I didn't really watch a lot of it, not willingly, per se. I was just like exposed to it again. I was also a really dumb child, and I used to be even more terrified of them because at the time, my little pea brain couldn't like understand like if I did see the same actors in different movies. I didn't really take on to that. So as stupid as it is, there was a point where I thought that these people were really dying. So I guess I was a child. I was like 4 or 5. Okay, I'm like, oh, they're dying.
They signed up to die.
I really thought that for the life. It was so bad. And like that and like all the nightmares I used to have, like I really just like tried to avoid like the plague, but I couldn't really ever escape it. But at the same time, I would watch all this other shit. Like I was obsessed with R.L. Stine. I watched Goosebumps. I watched The Nightmare Room. So weird. Like all those things. And like I would watch like these paranormal shows and like ghost hunting and stuff. But at the same time, horror movies, I was like, no, I can't watch that. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna sleep for days. So it's like it was always subconsciously there. It just didn't really like wake up till later on. So even with like Scooby-Doo, and it's like for Halloween and stuff like that, everyone's like princesses, and I was like, no, I'm gonna be a witch. I'm gonna be a vampire. Like those are very cringy pictures, by the way. If I ever find them, I will send them in the Discord. To never see the light of day. That stays between us, but they exist.
Girl, I got cringy pictures too. Get out of here. I love that you said like you really thought that, you know, the actors really did die. And it's fucking great. No, it's amazing. Because I legitimately was when I was a kid, I was under the impression that every single thing on TV was live. Like it was happening live.
Yeah.
Like I did not think that this was like pre-recorded.
Listen, for the longest time, every Christmas, whenever I would see a huge box that resembled the Good Guys dolls box, I was terrified because I'm like, this fucker found his way to my house and he's gonna kill me on Christmas Eve. Every year till I was about 10.
I love that. I love that.
I guess it wasn't really towards like more towards like the end of middle school, because that's where like it was gonna be extremely blasphemous, but it was like easy like that. You know, stuff like Jennifer's Body was coming out, and the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, as blasphemous as that is, but like those kind of like ease me. I'm like, okay, they're not as bad. And then from there, I kind of started going back more and rewatching a lot of things like Halloween, and like I started kind of like appreciating it more, and it kind of turned into that thing where it's like it was more of a comfort thing. Like I would have a shitty day or like I just wasn't feeling my best. It's like, you know what? I always had horror movies there. As weird stuff as always.
No, that's not weird.
And it's not like, well, to us it's not weird because we appreciate it. But everyone's just like, really? You're sad and you're gonna watch people get killed?
Yeah, but like also fuck that. Some people watch people getting their heart broken and they cry while it's happening and they're like, oh my god,
True.
I'm never gonna have anyone to love me. It's like it's the same thing. It's like
True.
Whatever.
Like, because it was also kind of like a weird way of coping with a whole bunch of fears that I had as a child.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's like I kind of broke so many of those in like a record time, like once I really like deep delved into it. So it's like that kind of like, I don't know. I feel like that to me was like slowly like, yeah, I'm growing up. I'm grown. I can handle it. These things aren't that bad.
Oh, Linessa's my favorite of the night. Yes, I can agree with this. Oh my god, Friday the 13th. What a mess. Sorry to anyone who likes it.
It's okay. We understand.
If you want to know my thoughts, you can watch my video on the Friday the 13th franchise.
And she had some thoughts. She had some thoughts.
You like tea.
If you want to know my thoughts, you can watch the last live stream.
There you go. Just like tell them to watch the last live stream. Halloween 3. It's a movie.
Halloween 3 is yeah, but it's a fun movie. It's what John Carpenter wanted to do.
I like Tom Atkins a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, that's a
I
great
remember
one.
that from my age too. That one's so good.
That's
I watched it in a while,
great intro to horror. Wow. That's awesome for you, Mike. So I think this is a great time to get into my intro to horror here. I feel like a lot of people already know if you've been like actively watching my channel or see me on other people's channels. But my intro to horror was solely by mistake. So when I was little, I asked my aunt. My aunt often comes to these streams. I don't think she's here tonight, so that's sad. But I asked my aunt Maddie if she could buy me the new Chucky Rugrats movie. And Chucky was my favorite character in Rugrats. So I used to always say Chucky, like Rugrats related. He's my favorite character. And so I told her that I wanted that for Christmas. I really wanted that. And she was like, okay, I'm going to get it for you. I was a child, like legitimately. I don't even know how old. I don't remember exactly which movie I wanted, but I did want the new Rugrats movie. And so she went to like a video store and she asked them for the Chucky movie. And so I guess they gave her Child's Play. Me as a child, I didn't know. So she gave it to me for Christmas. And I remember I played it and my mom went to work and I was at home with my brother and everybody was at work. So it was just me and my brother. And I watched it on the VHS player in my mom's room. And I remember putting the tape in and I was like, when is the movie gonna start? This has so many commercials. And I was just like waiting for the Rugrats theme, waiting for it to start. And all of a sudden I see a scene of like this woman holding this doll. And she's like, if you don't talk to me, damn it, I'm gonna throw you in the fire. And he's like, you stupid bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I was like, when the fuck is the movie gonna start? Like, I was like crying, and I remember I put myself under the covers and was like, I don't know how to start the movie. Like, I thought it was just an endless cycle of commercials. So I remember I decided that I would stay under the covers until it was over because I was too scared to go to the player and just take the tape out. So that was my first intro to horror was Child's Play, completely by mistake. I remember my mom got home and I had been crying and I was like shaking and told her like, oh my God, I don't know like what I watched. I felt so bad. First of all, I felt like I committed a sin. So I was like, I watched something I shouldn't have. And I remember my mom found out and was like, what the fuck? Like she was so pissed. And I remember she called my aunt and they were like fighting on the phone. My aunt literally had no idea. She was like, I asked them for the Rugrats Chucky movie. So that was my intro to horror. And for a while after that experience, I was terrified of Chucky. Like, I couldn't look at him. I had nightmares, as Shaheem was saying earlier about the nightmares. I had nightmares of this fucking doll. Like, I was convinced that this doll was out to get me. Like, if I saw anything weird in the house, I thought it was the doll. Like, I was very traumatized, like, of this doll. And then it wasn't really until these ridiculous like teen horror remakes came about. Like it wasn't until Prom Night 2008 and like The Stepfather with Penn Badgley, that remake came out, that I was like, I'm gonna fucking face my fears and watch this movie. Like I remember I had told my mom and I told my dad, I was like, I gotta go see this movie. We should go see this movie. And I remember watching Prom Night for the first time in the theater, like, holy shit, I'm terrified. And like now going back, I watched that movie and it is not terrifying at all. It's ridiculous and it's kind of funny. But at the time, I really was like, wow, I'm really facing my fears and watching this terrifying thing. And that Prom Night remake, it's terrible. I've seen the original with Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's a good movie. I don't love that movie, but it's probably better than the remake, though. They're both entirely different. I would say that the Prom Night 2008 is a reimagining. But when I was younger, that movie was terrifying. I mean, like her teacher was like obsessed with her and like he was stalking her and he was like in love with her. And I remember I was like, fuck, I'm like really facing my fears right now. I don't even know how old I was in 2008. I'm 25. Somebody do the math here. Because I sure as fuck can't do the math right now.
I'm not doing that math because I already feel.
But I was pretty young, and I remember being like, "This is so fucking scary." And now rewatching it, it's like one of those movies I put on as background noise. But it's crazy. And after that, I watched the Stepfather remake, and I was like, I like this. I think I'm gonna keep on going with horror movies. And from then on out, I kept going to like even crazier things. Like it started with this ridiculous teen horror movies, and then it went to like, I'm gonna fucking watch Takashi Miike's Audition, like in 9th grade. Like I had no business watching Takashi Miike's Audition in the 9th grade. If any of you have seen Audition, it is quite disturbing. Nobody in 9th grade should watch that. But yeah, and then it kind of just developed from there. So I think I was so scared of Chucky for so long, and then I was like, I just have to face my fears, and I started watching stupid teen horror, all these awful remakes, and then I was like, I need to continue. And I've already been someone that has loved film in general. For new people watching, I'm an actress, and I've studied film since like the 8th grade. Primarily with like Audrey Hepburn movies and stuff, but there's something very different about horror that was always like comforting to me, that I kind of stuck with that genre. So yeah, that's my ridiculous introduction to horror.
That's a crazy fucking introduction to horror. No. Like, because I also have a Child's Play, like that kind of fucked up my childhood. But your story is way more bonkers than mine, because you, as a little person, you settled down to watch fucking Rugrats.
I was like this big.
And saw this motherfucker killing people. That's nuts.
I will never forget it.
I tell people that Child's Play, the original movie, fucked me up because I saw it. And again, like I know I talk about Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street being like my first real big like horror movie introduction, but I did see Child's Play at a friend's house when I was too young, and it fucked me up because like the little kid in the movie was the same age as me, and his name was Andy. So to hear Grant Griff saying like, "Come here, Andy," in that voice, that sticks with you.
Of course. Oh my god! Thank God my name wasn't Andy. I would have been fucked up.
Yeah.
I love how Chucky kind of triggered all
right
of us.
now.
I love that.
As bad as my experience was, it wasn't like me popping in a video to watch fucking Rugrats and then seeing that motherfucker kill somebody with like a ruler or some shit.
That's a rude awakening.
I just remember the mom shaking this doll, being like, "If you don't talk to me, I'm gonna throw you in the fire." And like, he was like, "You stupid bitch," and I was like, "Oh my god!" I can't even like begin to tell you guys how baffled I was to hear a doll like say such awful words and just be terrifying. That was so triggering for me. I talked about this story on my friend Ken's channel. If you guys are familiar with Sledgehammer Horror, we had an entire video where he asked me what was my first horror movie, and I had to tell Ken this crazy story. And it was hilarious because I had told Ken before we filmed it, and he has a shirt that is literally Chucky from Rugrats, but he's designed like Chucky, like from Child's Play, and he already owned it, and he wore it for the video, and I was like, where the fuck did you get that?
So
and he was like, I already had this. And I was like, this is perfect because this was my childhood. That shirt. So if you guys ever want to laugh at me, You should definitely check out that video I did with Ken. It was crazy.
If you want something else in the world of horror to ruin Rugrats, I think at least most of us have seen The Devil's Rejects. But
Yeah.
if you don't know already, one of the I think like one of the prostitutes at Ken Foray's like place is the woman that voices Tommy, and you just hear Tommy saying Rob Zombie dialogue.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm sure,
I have to go back and rewatch that.
unless I got that completely wrong. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, it's once you
That's
hear
amazing.
it, you
That's
can't not
amazing.
hear it. So yeah, that might
Oh my
that
God,
might ruin Rugrats for you, but
That's how so Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 remake. Terrible, I'm burning with fire.
Oh,
The guy that does the voice for Patrick in SpongeBob is one of the sheriffs in that movie.
yeah, I remember
I
that.
cannot unhear Patrick.
oh yeah.
when he's
You know,
screaming.
you brought that to my attention because I didn't even
Yeah.
realize. Yeah.
All I hear is Patrick Star. I can't see the movie.
I thought he was Mr. Krabs.
No,
No.
that's nothing wrong. No, it was the guy that does Patrick Star.
Shit, that's insane.
What is it with Rob Zombie and like cartoon icons?
I don't know.
Who's gonna show up next?
Vanessa,
no. That's
that
a
would
sleep
be fun.
that's a sleep paralysis demon if there ever was one. Like
That
really.
That would be film of the year material for me.
Oh my god, amazing. Truly. It isn't
Absolutely.
Chucky without Brad Dourif. You are so right.
Right.
I love
And-
that. Remember when Hot Topic used to be like kind of scary to go into? I was a emo scene little girly, so I used to love going into Hot Topic. I was like, I'm not like the other girls. Right? Like you felt so cool going in there like I'm about this life, you're not.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Oh wow, this is
Ooh.
quite a question. Also, welcome back, Spencer. Oh, I'm not even prepared for this question. I'm in another universe. I'm thinking of Chucky right now.
That whole
We're
situation
too deep into
though,
Child's Play.
is really interesting though, because that's part of what makes that movie so great is the interaction between those two characters. With the guy who wanted to stay in the basement. That argument in that movie, again, I mean, maybe nowadays it's not as important, but if you think about it, back in the '60s, watching that movie, that discussion between those two characters, saying like, "No, we stay in the basement. No, we stay up the stairs." Having that argument because there's some sort of threat outdoors was so fucking fascinating. It really did make the drama inside much, much more like incredible than the drama outside.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is ages before like The Walking Dead would come out and kind of explore this a little bit more. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I love that movie to this day. It's one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
I don't know what I would do. I think I would probably stay with Ben.
yeah, I'd be topside for sure.
Yeah.
Would not be in the cellar.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
No
Especially
way.
not
I think like the cellar is a death trap. Like
Yeah.
Oh, pretty much.
Homeboy's daughter is down there ready to kill somebody with a fucking trowel.
yeah, like fuck that. I'm not going down there. I've not thought about that. This is a great question. Listen, I'm somebody like I say this all of the time. I'm a Latina. Like, I believe in the brujeria. Like, I'm not going to no haunted places. Like, no. Unless I bring my grandma and her friends that, like, you know, can give me the flower bath. No, I'm not going to no haunted places. I'm sorry. So yeah, this question is really it's a good question, but I'm definitely not going to any haunted places. Yeah, and for my people that don't speak Spanish, brujeria is just witchcraft. I just don't, you know.
Did you grow up with stories of La Llorona and El Cucuy as well?
Yeah, and the chupacabra. Yeah.
Chupacabra, yeah. It's weird because I'm completely atheistic towards a bunch of stuff, but somehow I still have that fear that stuff like that is real, you know, or the fear of like messing with a Ouija board. I know it just isn't real, but it terrifies me, you know.
Yeah, I would. No, I don't even go next to Ouija boards. I'm good. I don't give a fuck. Like, there are people that are like, listen, it's proven it's not real, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I wouldn't
Like, my grandma would be like, no. Like,
literally, my bottle opener right now is from a Ouija.
It's gonna be a no for me. It's cool though.
You know what? The aesthetic of a Ouija board is actually really cool, but yeah, I still have that childhood fear of like, ooh, let's not get near it.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I feel like when you grow up and like you're Hispanic, like you just know, like you don't fuck with that shit. Like I know Melissa can relate. Being Dominican, like you can relate.
The stories I've heard and the things like I've heard my grandparents have seen and shit. I'm like, yeah, no, I do not mess with that.
Same. My grandma has like crazy stories that she'll tell me all this stuff that she has seen, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, like where my mom grew up, there was like she grew up like deep in the countryside, deep in like Dominican Republic, like deep in there, like no lights anywhere. Like every house was like super far away from each other, and they would constantly see like, mind you, no lights anywhere. It's pitch black at night unless you have like a little lantern or like something to light things up for you. Back in, I don't even know, God, I want to say like 60s. Yeah, like late 60s, early 70s. And like they've all seen it. Like it's not just one person. Like you go over there and ask anyone, like seeing just glowing red eyes at night when everything is just pitch black. No lights or anything. Like no electricity, no anything in the countryside. Like and like witches and like people that lived in like certain houses, and they're like, yeah, that lady's a witch, and like weird stuff would happen, and like they even said like they've seen people flying. That I don't know, because sometimes people like bug out. But
some of the firsthand accounts that I've heard even as a kid, like were so realistic, and I think that's what made it so believable for me. But yeah, I remember a lot of those stories too. Wait, I'm actually curious. Francis, have you heard of El Cucuy and La Llorona?
I ain't got a clue, mate.
No, okay. That's so fascinating.
Wait, Francis, have you seen The Curse of La Llorona? A terrible movie, but
is that one of the Conjuring ones?
It's one of the Conjuring, unfortunately. Yeah.
I can't know if I told you. I rewatched the Conjuring the other day.
You did tell me. Did you watch the spin-offs yet? No.
No, I haven't even seen Conjuring 2. I just
don't
think they're for me. So
okay, that's
Did you have any like childhood stories of like monsters and stuff like that?
Me, I don't think so really. My stepmom is from Madeira, which is like just island off Portugal, and she I think her grandmother was like considered a witch or something in the village. So I know there's some history there.
What the fuck?
I used to say that my grandma from my mom's side, I've heard stories because I never met her. She passed away long before I was born. I used to hear stories of her being a clairvoyant, but I never really like got to know her. So. But apparently she had stories for days about that.
So. Lanessa. Buenas noches, mi amor. Have a good night.
Yeah. I want to say good night to Lanessa especially for having me 100% pegged.
The Raptors are extinct. It's safe to go outside.
I love her so much. Thank you, Lanessa, for coming by. You're
Great contribution.
Good night, Lanessa, from the 100-year-old man.
What's up?
I actually have to get going as well.
You go. You have a
but
good
I'm glad
night.
I was able to hear all you guys' stories. That was
Yeah.
really fascinating. Can't wait for the
Yes.
next one.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I hope you have a good time out.
For sure. I'll probably do the Patreon for like the recommendations. I'll probably try to find time to do that tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye,
It was
guys. Have a
great
good night.
having you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Night.
Take care.
Hold on, Cesar. We'll see you.
And then number 4.
I'm dying.
Wait.
First
Oh my
of
god.
all, I'm so proud of us for getting through our unique stories of what got us into horror.
Oh my god. I could have gone for another hour.
Really? You went back in time. You're
I
talking
know.
about the monster.
That was
That
was the synopsis.
I cut an hour out of my original story. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
What the fuck do you mean?
Not,
I told you that we wanted everything.
No, I thought you guys were all sleepy and ready to go to bed, so I didn't want.
What do you mean? That's you. You're the one who's sleepy and wants to go to bed.
I'm
You're a
good.
little
I thought you
viejito.
on the Discord, you guys were all looked like you were all tired. I was like, oh shit, they're all gonna fucking bail on me.
Don't project that here, Andy. We know that you're the viejito of the group. That you want to go to
not
sleep.
this time. This time I'm ready. I'm well fucking. Y'all, I've been getting my sleep.
So have we.
Okay.
We're good. I don't know about Francis.
To be fair,
my man's been taking fucking trains all across Europe for no reason because the fucking games keep getting canceled on his ass.
No sleep. Had a journey and a half today. Was absolutely shattered. But now I'm here and I'm in the zone. So Andy, I could listen to you. No sleep deprivation would stop me from listening to your.
When I finally start my podcast, Francis is going to be my number one, my first subscriber.
Please.
This old bastards talking about horror.
Francis, I have a question.
Oh no.
Oh no! I don't want questions from her. Francis, it's nothing. But earlier you said you were out. Okay? Why are you wearing a jersey?
Oh right. So yeah. So the story is, so my football or soccer, as it pains me to say, to translate to the American audience, my team, Oxford United, we were playing a game away. I don't live in Oxford anymore, but that's where I'm from. We were playing a football match in a city called Wigan or a town called Wigan against their team. And I'm traveling there, getting the train up, ridiculous prices. I'm buzzing though, excited. Finally get to go and see some live football because I don't live in Oxford anymore. Not seeing those home games. And right when we're nearly there, I find out the game was postponed because of COVID. So that was depressing because I think like 7 players got COVID. So I just wore the shirt with pride anyway to make me feel. But yeah, it's just the shirts the players wear.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the story of my day traveling across the country for no reason.
That sucks though. That's the worst. When
let's not rub it in. Let's not dwell on that. Let's move past
all right. Okay, we're moving on. This is Francis' stream. We're moving on. That's it. He's the boss. Okay? We're moving on. So since we got through our intro into horror, if you guys would like us to answer any questions before we go, feel free to ask anything you would like. Oh, I see one here. Have any of you guys seen Cujo?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have. Big
That's
fan.
a good boy.
That's a good boy as he kills people.
It's okay, it's not his fault. He's misunderstood.
He's going through a lot right now.
He is. So he hasn't had his treats and no one has called him a good boy. And when he stretches, they haven't told him big stretch. Okay?
He's Larry's like, these girls can out party you. Yeah. We can out party anyone, you know? We're in it. Oh my god. I forget. Jeffrey absolutely loves Burn It With Fire so much.
Burner with
Jeffrey,
fire.
I do want to say love you so much for caring so deeply about the Burn It With Fire segment. Prom night 2008, Burn It With Fire. So I don't know about that. If Prom Night 2008 wasn't such a staple in how I got into horror, I'd say Burn It With Fire because it is pretty bad. But because it was one of those movies where like I'm gonna get into horror and like I'm gonna see this horror movie in the theater for the first time and be like a real horror fan, I wouldn't say I'd Burn It With Fire. Probably mainly just because of nostalgic reasons and it having like sentimental value to me. But you know, I do acknowledge it's a bad movie. It's not really executed well. Even though Brittany Snow was really popular at the time and it was nice to see her in a horror movie. Also, we did have Idris Elba in it and he was great. I don't know the actor's name that played the stalker ex-professor guy, but he was very good as well. So I mean, we had good actors, just like a pretty shit screenplay. But yeah, I can understand why you would want to Burn It With Fire yourself. Thank you so much. We try so hard. I'm glad you have a great time. Oh. Yes, it's because Caesar left and now we're bigger. Love that for us. Haven't seen that. Is Southbound the one that's an anthology?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to see that. That's like one that's been on my to-be list forever. Oh, truly. Of course, it is a classic. Was it the spooky vibes that got you into horror? No. I mean, no. I kind of got into horror more as like I need to just face my fears and do it and get over it. But now I've grown up to be like this woman who's obsessed with spooky shit. So now I'm all about the spooky vibes. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Hello, Daniel. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute. Thanks for coming by and showing love. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Okay. So before we end this, ask us anything you want. We'll be here to answer. I wonder because Jeffrey's obsessed with Burn It With Fire. Are there any like do we have oh thank you. Oh my god. I have like the nicest boyfriend ever. He made cookies.
Oh. Hey.
I'll
be waiting for my cookies in the mail for myself.
Where's my cookie?
Okay, so I'm curious. Does anyone have any Burn It With Fire? Have they seen anything they would like to burn with fire? We'll do this little segment here. No, Jeffrey lives for it.
Just like in general, like anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, you've really opened the door for Francis because.
Love it.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Does anyone else want to go back 60,000 years and talk about the origins of horror movies? I'm fucking here for it.
I'm trying to think of something I want to burn with fire.
I can't
Melissa,
remember if we said this last time. Sorry, but
go ahead.
I don't think it was last live stream. So just to bring it up, fuck Scary Movie.
Yeah, we talked about it last live stream.
That. Oh, it was in the live stream.
No, it wasn't. It was on movie night.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right. So yeah, fuck that.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Honestly.
For everybody here, I will be doing a video. You've heard it here first. I will be doing a video discussing all of these scary movies.
Are you doing it?
Yep, I'm doing it for you.
Yes.
I'm literally. I told you at the beginning of the video. I'm gonna be like, "This is for Francis."
Just for Francis.
It's for Francis.
I've never been this excited for a YouTube production in my life.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna suffer through it. I have to see Scary Movie 5.
Does this mean I am am I compelled to watch the rest of them then? Should I?
You don't have to. It's like a lot.
I know, but I feel like I owe it to you for going through the effort that I should at least know. There is 5 of them though. Oh no.
If you want to watch it, you can, but I definitely don't want to put that fucking burden on you to watch all of them. Like, they're pretty fucking shit.
I wouldn't use the word want, but would I be willing to? Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know if you can get through it, honestly.
I've watched some shit films in my time.
Me too.
So,
but those are like a different kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know? Have a good night, Spencer. Thanks for coming through.
Do you know who never showed up? I forget his name. John, the geezer who wanted me to say that.
John, yeah, he didn't come through.
John, you let me down, man. That was gonna be the highlight of my night.
John.
That bastard. He got what he wanted and he moved on.
I love that.
I feel used. I feel like this was a one-way thing.
Shaheem has a good question here. Other than the horror films you guys were introduced to, which other horror movie would you guys rather be traumatized by for your intro into horror? What horror movie would it be? Great question. I'm gonna hide this because I realize you can't see Francis's face. Wow. I feel like mine is Child's Play is a good one, so I feel like I don't even know.
Yeah, your story is really fucked up because because it's a story of a child wanting a child's thing, and then being introduced to something very adult and very fucked up. So your story is messed up.
It really is. It was very traumatic for me, actually.
That's the first time I've heard of the story.
Really?
And it is horrifying. Yeah, I guess I missed your appearance on the other YouTube channel because I had never heard that before.
Have you told that story in one of your videos?
I did in a really old video when I first started my channel.
Because I was gonna say I felt like I vaguely remembered something like that, but I didn't remember the whole thing.
I did in my video where I said like movies in my horror collection or something like that. I did talk about that.
Well, I guess I'm not a super fan like I thought I was.
Fuck. No, it's such an old video. Please get out of here. The videos weren't even good. They were shot on my phone. Please.
I found the first video that I saw of yours that I actually commented on. I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you. It was when you did Color Out of Space. Was it Color Out of Space?
Yeah, that's like one of my first videos.
It was pretty early on. It was over a year ago. I commented on it because I was such a fucking nerd for H.P. Lovecraft, but that movie for sure. That I could not help. And even if I saw the comments on your video, I'm like, oh God, even then I couldn't shut the fuck up about. So if you go back and go back to Salise's video on the Color Out of Space, Go down into the comments, like 2 comments down, and there's some fucking nerd just who cannot shut up. That's me.
I mean, to be fair, my Color Out of Space video is me being a nerd who can't shut the fuck up about like how obsessed I am with Nicolas Cage's performance.
That was how I found you. That video.
That's amazing.
That's my origin story with watching your videos.
That's amazing. I'm actually very, very proud of that review. I wrote that review in a notebook like immediately after I watched the movie. I was so impressed with that movie. I wrote all my thoughts down like a mad woman.
That was a good one. I liked it. Clearly, I'm here now. Look at.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's such an old video. Thank you for being here for all that time.
Oh, geez.
Oh, this is a question for you, Andy. Do you think a William Castle type of movie with an interactive gimmick would work today?
Man, that's a good question. I think Christopher and I are like very kindred souls here because we like the old school stuff. I bet, I don't know, but I bet William Castle would have a fucking ball today because there may not be as much interactive sort of gimmicks, but there's a lot of playing with the public's perception of movies nowadays. Especially because everyone, I mean, let's face it, most people are watching movies at home, even I think leading into COVID and everyone kind of not being able to go out as much and seeing movies in theaters as much. We were already in a world where we were watching a lot more films at home via streaming services. So I think he would have a ball trying to figure out how to make things really interesting at home. Matter of fact, that kind of ingenuity is what we need right now to make things more interesting. I think Netflix tried to do something weird where they made people watch and they have like a sort of a what was that? They had a movie where it was kind of like choose your own adventure style.
Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, yeah.
Bandersnatch, yeah.
Right, something like that. I bet a William Castle type person would have a fucking ball in this day and age trying to figure out how to really engage an audience who is trapped at home watching everything, from a streaming service. Then again, I mean, we're still struggling with trying to figure out how to make things more interesting in the theater experience. We're still struggling with how to make 3D viable because we've been going back and forth with making 3D interesting. So I bet he would have a ball. I bet that would be the guy. That sort of mindset is the one that we need to make things really interesting, to make the theater experience really unique to an audience nowadays. Because again, like Christopher clearly knows, like William Castle was the guy who was figuring out how to make the movie-going experience totally different for the audience at the time than watching any other movie. He was the guy who was rigging seats to fucking shake when something weird would happen. That guy knew what he was doing, using different kinds of 3D glasses sort of stuff. I bet he would have an awesome time, and that's exactly the kind of mindset we need to sort of re-energize people into wanting to go to the theaters again and have that experience. Something other than what we're doing now, which is just watching movies at home.
I feel like I'm like the antithesis of Andy on this, because Andy's so optimistic about all these different interactivity gimmicks, and I'm just a miserable fucker. I hate gimmicks. They just piss me off.
You hate
3D is like my least favorite thing to happen to cinema. I absolutely despise that whole
3D
era.
actually gives me a headache. It actually hurts me, but doesn't happen to everybody.
Yeah, but there's other gimmicks, though. I think. I think, like I said, William Castle was pioneering different gimmicks. Mm-hmm. For better or for worse. I mean, nowadays, I think maybe we would see it more as like if you go to a theme park and they make you sit in one of those 4D. Again, I haven't been to one of these in probably 10 years, but they used to do like a 4D ride where you would sit back and you would be in a booth and it would splash water at you when something wet would happen. It would blow air. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. That's exactly what Castle would do in a limited way back when he was making movies. I think he's the guy who would figure out how to make things really interesting now, how to pull people out of their living rooms to like want to go to theaters to see movies, because so many of us are not doing it. We just said, fuck it. If I wait an extra day, it'll be on HBO or it'll be on Disney, and I can watch it at home, $20 rather than spending $100 to take my whole family to see a thing. I bet Castle will be the guy to figure out how to make people really want to like, or really feel like they're missing out on something by not seeing it in theaters. So we're missing his kind of ingenuity in a way.
I think we're at a time when it's more possible than ever to have some sort of gimmick in like cinema, and it really be immersive and meaningful. But I'm still a skeptic about it. I think I worry that gimmicks can sometimes become sort of the main focus rather than telling stories and human stories and stuff, and the art of filmmaking. But I think you make a good point about sort of like the present being, the modern day being a playground like unprecedented for interactive experiences in cinema.
Yeah. See, I don't even remember how I found this channel. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've been rocking on here. Love that. Cheers to my amazing friend Jay from Bloodbath and Beyond for giving me that incredible shout out. I am very honored. Hi. How you doing, baby? Have a good night, Shaheem. Thank you for coming through. You're amazing. We love you. Thank you. Yeah. I know. It's sad. Same here, though. The only times I have been to the theater, my return to the theater was Candyman, which I was so excited. And then after that, it was Halloween Kills, and then Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho, I absolutely knew. It was like one of those movies that I was like, you need to see that in a theater. I mean, it's an Edgar Wright film. You know, he's a master with sound design and like amazing imagery. I was like, you need to see that in the theater. Like, he was saying that so many times where he was like, we're going to keep pushing the movie until people can see it in the theater. And with good reason. Because the movie is such a big theatrical film. It's like, you want to see that in a theater.
I'm hoping to see that tomorrow night in cinemas.
Yes!
I'm hoping to just see it eventually at home. I know I can't go to the theater to see it. But that's one of those movies where like that fucking trailer, like they should play that in film school, because that's one of the best trailers for a movie I've ever seen. And I think, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was Celise who posted it, and I could not comment and say, holy shit, it was the best movie trailer I've ever seen. And
It's
I'm telling you,
great trailer.
When I do finally see that, you will never hear the end of it from me.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I don't know anyone who's seen it yet. So, like, if we could talk about it, that'd be awesome. I want to talk about it forever.
The day you said that, because I will fucking talk your ear off.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. When you see all the shit that this man did, like all the practical things that he did, incredible. I can't wait to have a conversation about it. I can't wait till you see it.
Well, you're going to, so.
I know I am. I'm so excited. Oh, thank you so much. Happy to have you here, Adam. Thanks for coming by. Oh my God. Yes, me too, baby. I'm very excited. This is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is my amazing friend Matthew that's in Table Screams. And Matthew is coming by with Dylan to watch Jennifer's Body tomorrow. As Jennifer's Body is our next Table Screams. That's going to be a journey. Good thing we have a whole entire month to prepare for that. That's going to be a lot. Wow, I love how this has become like a thing where people are telling me how they found me. That's amazing. Thanks for being here.
You know what though? That's actually a good point to make, because even when I found that video of yours talking about Color Out of Space, I've seen a lot of videos, especially during the past 2 years. I've like found a lot of different content creators for the horror genre, especially. But I haven't bumped across anybody who was like as good about interacting with people who were talking about the videos as Silly's. Like, whether it be on social media or whether it be in the YouTube comments, Silly's talks. Literally anyone who comments on fucking anything, she bounces right back. She's like, "Hey, I love to talk about it." And that's why I was immediately like, "Oh, this is my new best friend. We're going to talk about horror movies forever now."
I love that. That's
Especially
so
being
cute.
someone who was like, someone who can't. I really don't. I mean, I joke about it all the time, but I really don't have a lot of free time anymore, just because of crazy decisions that I've made way back there. But but having someone who's like, doing the work, putting in like all the effort to watching the movies, reporting back to me who has zero time to enjoy the things I used to love. And then having someone who's so good about being interactive and being like cool and being sweet and being social, it has been like an absolute fucking lifesaver for me. So I'm glad that like so many people are finding Silly's in this way. And I'm sure I'm one amongst millions of people who are gonna like really latch on for that exact same reason. It's so fun to have someone who can talk to be personal about these kinds of things again.
Thank you. That's so sweet. You're going to make me all like emotional here. Thank you very much. That means a lot to hear you say that. Thank you.
Table screens.
Oh, table screens.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good thing that you can keep up. Yes. I'm very excited to show you guys more. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, I love that. Shout out to Video Creep. Thank you for coming by. So guys, so cute. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Me. That's me. So I think that's it. We talked about what got us into horror. I busted out this. It's been a long journey. If anybody has any last minute questions, feel free to ask them now. Otherwise, we will be leaving very shortly.
I'll be here all night, so go ahead.
He'll be here all night. He's running it by himself. Andy's so cool that I'm letting him take over.
I'm taking over the channel. It's just now it's not Sweet and Spooky anymore. It's like old and crusty dude who wants to talk about horror.
Andy, don't talk about yourself like that. You're not old and crusty. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Thank you. I don't know how amazing I am, but I can attest that these two individuals here that are my patrons are amazing. Like, we have movie nights together, and like legitimately I feel like they're both there because they want to be there and like be my friend and like hang out with me. It's so cute. And so shout out to both Francis and Andy for being amazing.
What can I say? Yeah.
What can I say?
Francis 100% brings the class. Just accent alone, he immediately makes you think it's legit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad that the accent is not an obstacle to understanding me, because I can speak fucking lazily sometimes. So
No, you're pretty easy to understand. Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'm glad. I don't get that a lot. I try to slow myself down, but sometimes it does go a bit mental. So, but yeah.
Interesting. Maybe it's because like I'm from New York and we all talk pretty lazy. Also, pretty easy to understand you. I don't think you sound.
I don't think you sound very hard to understand.
Good. That's because I'm professional here.
Right.
You know, like you don't know what I sound like outside of here, which is a journey in itself. I don't think you guys ever want to hear that. Though, you know what? You guys might have heard that if you've seen any bloopers of my videos, like any cuts that I try to make jokes out of.
We don't get any good bloopers. You should post more bloopers. I'm trying to
get blooper reel.
Blooper reel.
Oh, fuck. No, the bloopers are cringe. I like specifically am like, I should not show this side. That's a mess.
I'm trying to read into the chat, and I want to say to Matthew, who said something about the mantle, and I've been for the last I don't know how many different videos that we've done. I've been trying to like go to different parts of my house to find an interesting backdrop.
He's a content creator. I need a cool background.
Every background that I do is like a sort of like an I Spy video. Like if you could just find all the weird bullshit that I've hidden in the background.
I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, there's some last minute questions here. This is one for you, Andy. You're the star, Andy.
Dude, Hammer horror films that's my fucking jam, man. I'm such a huge fan. I do talk about that a lot with some of this gang. But yeah, my specialty, like my favorite, is 60s and 70s era horror films, and Hammer horror films especially. I have a soft spot in my heart for that. Anything with like Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, that is my dream team when it comes to horror. Those are two dudes who were good friends, and they loved doing movies together, and they didn't care that it was like the same movie every time. That's a great attitude to have for like genre filmmaking. And again, those are classic actors. Like they're classically trained actors. They could have got gigs doing anything, and they loved doing genre films. They loved doing horror films. They were 100%. They knew what they were about. So I love those guys. I love Hammer horror. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, if you ever catch me online, I'll talk fucking Hammer horror all day long.
He definitely will.
Yeah, you will rue the fucking day you mentioned Hammer horror to me.
Andy shines in this moment. It's a question for you, Francis.
What's my horror pillow? Oh, right. These. For a second, I was thinking.
Francis didn't realize there's a background.
No clue what the hell was going on.
There's like The Shining there.
Oh,
then there's Killer Club. I'll try and get that one. Hold up.
We're gonna see them all.
There's this one, which is like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my god!
I love that one. That's amazing.
Awesome.
Hold up. And then this one's my favorite, although it's kind of ruined because I found out this guy's like an actual serial killer.
Oh shit, that's John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, I had no idea who this guy was until I was innocently like, it's just like the famous clowns playing poker. I thought it was great, cool art. So have it next to me when I'm sleeping, innocently enough. And then someone I live with just was like naming them. It's like, that's John Wayne. I was like, who's John Wayne Gacy? And then I looked him up. I realized it's the actual serial killer, which I'll be honest, it's sort of ruined the mood of it a bit. So there's that.
Oh no.
So yeah, I mean, if I knew that beforehand, so now I just have this, and I sort of like, I don't know.
Oh my god!
And if you forget that bit, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
At the end of every stream with Andy and Francis always wows me.
I'm glad that there's yeah.
The last one was with the Rocky Horror remake, and now it's the fact that he got a pillow and he didn't know fucking John Wayne Gacy was.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Fuck. Who the fuck was the artist that was like, we'll put John Wayne Gacy
Yeah,
here
right.
with
Just
like
randomly.
Tim
I'll make one more
Curry.
clown.
He's so happy as well. Like they're all smiling and happy playing poker, having a laugh. But like, it's do you know what I mean? I got it from it's like a horror convention I went to in Manchester in last month, and they just had loads of different pillows disguised as the art. But I don't think they have a website or anything, so I think it was just like literally there. And then I found that out a couple of weeks ago when someone I live with pointed it out. So now it's sort of tainted. So
You know what?
there's the story.
It's so pure. Like you
Fuck
found
it.
out, you
Just-
didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yes, Francis is in the UK. It is
Yeah.
quite late.
It
It's
is
Yeah, that's
quite
funny.
late.
4:36
I'm reading this.
Brent-
And I
a.m.
just
Stop.
hear Matthew's reporter voice.
Fucking trooper.
Yeah, it's a little bit late, but
I know, Francis.
it's fine because we're
so
coming out
sweet.
for the Sweet and Spooky channel, and that's where it's at. Who needs sleep when you can talk about John Wayne Gacy pillow?
Fuck yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, man. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
love you, Francis. You're
Yes,
amazing.
Francis. That is fucking dedication. Who needs sleep? Who we can talk about? Real goddamn serial killer.
For
Yo,
sure.
literally.
Absolutely.
Literally. I see some last minute questions here we're going to answer and then we're going to hop on out of here. It's so late for Francis. What do you think about clown horror movies?
I mean, obviously.
I love them. I mean, I love it. I love it so much. I will say though, there's a lot of clown horror movies that are bad. So I can't sit here and be like, I stan the clown horror movie subgenre.
It's just it. And Killer
Yeah. And then there's like a bunch of other bad ones. Like there was that who did that one called Clown? Was that an Eli Roth film?
I don't fucking know.
It's pretty shit though.
It's
Melissa,
it's
you've
Eli
seen it.
Roth
You've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it Eli Roth? I don't know.
No.
I don't care about Eli Roth, so that's why I don't know. But
it's just it and Killer Clowns. That's it.
it and Killer Clowns.
Oh, and Terrifier.
Basic-
Yeah, someone in the comments.
Terrifier, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely love
Carter
it.
in the comments said.
I love Captain Spaulding, but
Matthew.
Oh,
Other than
he's
that-
great.
he's
That's
like
true, yeah.
the highlight of the Firefly trilogy for me. Because Rob Zombie, I have mixed. There's a lot I like about his filmmaking. There's a lot I could do without.
I
But
agree.
but Captain Spaulding was quality, and
Yeah.
it's a crying shame that he wasn't in House of 1,000 Corpses as much as he should have been, and that he was like virtually non-existent in Three from Hell, which obviously was no one's fault, but still such a shame we didn't get more of that character. But yeah.
I see I'm living for this mantle. I guess that's for you, Andy. Oh, all about the accent. This is for somebody else. I thought it was about Francis. Sorry.
Who else would it be if not about Francis?
I see that Matthew and Gretchen are talking about accents and
Oh, okay.
being from Alabama and such. Oh, I see. I see a good one.
Ooh.
Oh, one horror icon you've had enough of and one you will never get enough of.
I got an answer for you.
Andy, you start.
Okay, so horror kind you've had enough of, and I promise you, I'm saying this as a huge fan. We can let Jason Voorhees go bye-bye. Okay, he's been in enough movies. I love him. I love Friday the 13th. He's done. It's over. Come on, let him go. You know who never got enough movies made with this character as the main protagonist, and I guess I mean this before the last movie was Candyman. I can't believe that wasn't like a more sort of potent like horror icon during the time the first Candyman movie came out. That really should have been the character that we should have saw more of in better movies during that time. I would have loved to see a whole series of movies about that character.
That's a great answer. For me, a horror icon I have had enough of is 110% Jason Voorhees. Thanks, I'm good without it. And one I will never get enough of. Shit, that's intense. I have to think that one through. I think one I will never get enough of truly is probably Chucky. That's it. I could literally watch anything. Anything. As long as we have Brad Dourif, I'm good.
Fuck yeah. I want Brad Dourif. I want Brad Dourif in all this shit, man.
Same. Like, yeah, and bring Fiona. Like, we're doing it. We're doing it. Like, I have not had enough. I'd like, please keep bringing Jennifer Tilly back. Like, that's it. Melissa, what about you?
Oh, I'm torn. I
It's a
agree
tough
with all of you
question.
guys on Friday the 13th being dead. Sorry, Jason. I'm torn multiple directions though, because there's quite a few that I can never get enough of though.
I know it's tough because I could also never get enough of like Michael Myers, to be honest.
That was gonna be my go-to.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm gonna stick with that one. I'm not overthink it. Michael Myers, period.
Period. So Jason is the one you could do without, and then you have Michael. Love that. Francis?
Yeah, I don't want to say Jason again because everyone said it, but fucking Jason. Like, I mean, again, and I've only seen the first Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
And the remake.
Oh, okay.
I've seen little bits of the others, but I've never felt I don't care that much for the original, and I've never felt the need to go through. And I will eventually, and of course your video encouraged me massively. You showed me what I'm missing out on with that series, so I must venture through him soon. But yeah, I guess Jason. I can't think of another. And then I was gonna say Chucky, but I knew you were gonna say Chucky, and I don't want to say Chucky again. But
oh, did you know I was gonna say that? That's amazing. You know me.
I don't know who else. I suppose. And again, true. Not that this will be a surprise, but I could take Tobin Bell's Jigsaw.
That's so you.
I could have him. Honestly, I pray to God that Lionsgate just hires some better writers, and I mean no offense to any of the writers who've worked on Saw, but I just think with some, I don't know how to put it nicely, but basically with some real talented writers, I think we could get a great Saw story. I just don't think that they're getting the right people. I don't think rehiring the who wrote Jigsaw. I actually offended one of the writers of Jigsaw on Twitter once by mistake. I really nicely said that I didn't think the writing was great in Jigsaw, but I didn't realize he was added in on the thread. He replied to me, and I felt a bit bad, but you know, it is what it is. but I just don't know how they got them back for Spiral. I don't think Jigsaw was. I don't know. But that's my gripe with the franchise. The writing can be fucking lackluster sometimes. But I'd say Toby Bell as Jigsaw. It would be my other option other than Chucky.
All great answers. Gretchen, who are other horror tubers you would want to work with, both big and small? Oh, that's a fabulous question. Someone I absolutely admire in this community is Spooky Astronauts. Emma, if you are familiar with her channel, I admire Emma and the work she does. So probably if we're talking about big horror tubers, Emma. In terms of
combination of the spookies.
yeah,
Spooky.
Come on, Emma.
Collab waiting to happen.
Yes. In terms of smaller, I'd probably say Nightmare Maven. If you guys haven't seen her, I definitely recommend checking her out. She makes really thoughtful content and really original content. Like, she's just a great horror tuber all around. So yeah, those are my answers. Sorry, I'm so slow, guys.
I hope to work with Sweet and Spooky someday. That'd be fucking amazing.
Here you are. It's happening. You're here.
I'd love to work with Andy's one-man
Andy,
table read one day.
give it away. Yes, give it up for Andy. He is. He's a great director. Very talented. Oh, this is a great question. All right, guys, I'm taking the last minute questions, then we're gonna hop on out of here because we have been on here for a very long time. Any holiday horror films you guys watch traditionally? Yes, I usually watch for Christmas. I watch Krampus every year. Love it. Absolutely love it. And for Thanksgiving, I watch Blood Rage all the time. Love it. Obsessed with Blood Rage. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. What about you guys?
Yes.
Melissa, you can start.
I got Krampus for sure around Christmas, and then I don't think I have a set Thanksgiving one. I know around Halloween, definitely Trick or Treat and The Crow right before the night, right on the 30th.
To be fair, there's not a lot of Thanksgiving horror, so
yeah.
Blood Rage is great.
Those are like the ones I religiously watch. Never.
That's
fails.
great. Do you have any, Francis?
For Christmas, it might be a bit basic, but Black Christmas, love that. The original, of course.
It's a great one.
I used to watch Rocky Horror every Halloween, but I haven't for a couple of years now. Not intentionally, but Black Christmas definitely. Christmas, I don't think, unless you count The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is admittedly liberally applying that, because the horror label, but it's in the horror family sort of.
It is. I love that one.
Yeah, I've yet to see Krampus. That's on my list for this year.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I bet. And Toni Collette is in it, right?
She is. She's amazing.
And she is amazing. So definitely this year, check that out.
Yeah. Andy?
So every year for Halloween, and I'm sorry, not Halloween. Jesus, no, Christmas.
Christmas.
We watch nothing for Halloween. Christmas, we have two separate sort of like rituals, I guess. My wife has to watch Annie. That has nothing to do with anything. That's not horror. I have to watch.
The way you said that fucking killed me. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That has nothing to do with anything. Anyway. Okay, go ahead.
No, because sorry. I'm so sorry. I posted this on Instagram before where it was like we literally watched this and Annie, and people have commented on it before. But so because of my wife, we have to watch Annie, but because of me, we have to watch both The Exorcist and The Exorcist 3 around the holidays, Christmas, whatever.
What a fucking turn. Annie, The
I want these
Exorcist.
police lose their fucking mind right now. Because when I posted, last time I posted that, I don't know how many years ago it was, I said, yeah, we watched Annie and The Exorcist, and someone thought that was like a movie. That's a
This
pretty
is my
fucked up combo.
maniacal laughter. I'm sorry. This is amazing. This is incredible.
The people who don't know me, I mean, I think you guys all know, but anyone else watching, if anyone is still watching this shit right now, and I'll be blown away if there's anybody. Sorry, but it's just very late. But The Exorcist is my absolute favorite movie, like all time genre, irregardless. It's my favorite movie. I think it's a great movie. And The Exorcist 3 is my favorite sequel to any movie. It's amazing. And for whatever reason, I have it in my head that they are like holiday movies. And I know they're not. But if you watch Exorcist 3, there is a callback to like It's a Wonderful Life, which is a weird like holiday style movie. But anyway, that is our tradition in this house. And that might not make a fucking lick of sense, and I understand. But I'm saying, like, the holidays, Christmas, whatever, Exorcist, Exorcist 3, and then Annie is what we watch up in here.
What order do you do them in? Do you start with Annie or do you
too much for y'all, then I'm sorry, you don't belong in this home.
Wait, I'm curious what Francis said. Do you start with Annie, or like how's it go?
Yeah, what's the order?
Yeah, we start with Annie.
And you end with Exorcist.
We start with Annie. And we start with Annie, and then from a story perspective, Annie's life gets way worse.
Annie finds a Ouija board with her new family.
The story of a young girl. It goes bad to pretty good to amazing to real bad.
This is incredible. This is quality content. This is the kind of content I like to bring to my channel. Thank you, Andy, for sharing that with us. I think that we should end it there on Andy's amazing Annie to the Exorcist, a holiday tradition.
Annie's Exorcist holiday.
If I continue to listen to this shit, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I love it. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and asking all your questions. I'm gonna do my thing real quick where I thank a bunch of people. I would like to thank Michael from Video Creep Reviews for stopping in for a little bit earlier. Thanks so much for coming through. I would like to thank Carter, Adam, Matthew, Mike, Joni, Gretchen. Oh my gosh, what was her name? She was amazing. Lanessa, Shaheem, Larry.
Lanessa, who brings it over.
Yeah. Spencer. Everyone who came through. Christopher Hoffman, thank you. Everyone that was super amazing, thanks for coming by. I would like to thank Melissa Queen for coming through late with her Duncan. It's totally fine. She's a fashionable queen. Thank you for coming by. Francis, so much thank yous to you for staying up till 4 a.m.
Wow, we're about to hit 5 now. So
holy shit, 5 a.m. We love you. We stand Francis here on this channel. I'll never forget. I would like to thank Andy for coming through with amazing stories. And that is it. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for coming by. We'll see you next month. Bye.
yeah.